And now, the starting lineup for your Falmouth Commodores. Leading off, the shortstop from Duke, number 4, Alex Mooney. Batting second, the third baseman from Florida, number 7, Colby Halter. Batting third, the designated hitter from Arkansas, number 10, Peyton Stovall. Batting fourth, the center fielder from Alabama, number 24, Andrew Pinkney. Batting fifth, the first baseman from Oregon, number 33, Jacob Walsh. Batting sixth, the catcher from Oregon, number 12, Josiah Cromwick. Batting seventh, the right fielder from South Florida, number 16, Drew Brutcher. Batting eighth, the left fielder from Georgia, number 25, Corey Collins. Batting ninth, the second baseman from Oklahoma, number 21, Jackson Nicholas. And on the mound tonight for the Commodores from Long Beach State, number 23, Juaron Watts Brown. The umpires tonight, at first base is Ryan DeMar, at third is Carlos Stolmo, and behind the plate is Eric Carmona.
Win yesterday. The Falmouth Commodores are back at the Guv today, trying to snag hold of a playoff spot in the Western Division, at least for right now. Carter Bainbridge, along with Trey, Redfield, and Logan Soforenko, your broadcast team today on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel. Welcome to Opening the Door. Trey, we saw up close and personal yesterday the Dores play one of the games of the summer against the Bourne Braves in this ballpark.
It wasn't just a battle, it was a war out there, Carter. There were 3 runs put up by the Dores in the first, 1 in the second, but nothing after that. That's all they needed at the end of the day. It was a 4-3 win over Bourne last night for Falmouth, thanks to some help on the defensive side. Another 5-out save from Joey Ryan and a diving catch by Travis Chestnut in the top of the 8th inning with bases loaded and 2 outs. Where else would you rather be? This is a spot to beat tonight, knowing how important today is, too.
The Dores took down one of the hottest teams on the Cape in the Bourne Braves, who came into that game on a winning streak, but no longer. The Dores won 4-3 thanks to some dramatic late-inning magic from Joey Ryan and some others. But now, Logan, they try to get this 4th-place spot today against the team they're currently tied for that position with, the Wareham Gatemen.
Yeah, game number 31 coming into today. Still a lot of baseball left, but anytime you can wind up in a playoff spot, that's always a good day. When the Wareham Gatemen and the Falmouth Commodores have squared off this year, it's been a couple of nice contests. Haven't been too separated. They've been really close games. The last time these two teams squared off against each other, it was a 6-4 loss that went in favor of the Wareham Gatemen. We saw some late inning heroics from Hogan Windish in the 9th inning, and he continues to punish the Falmouth Commodores, hitting well over 340 against the Dores this season. But the Dores have a 2-game win streak coming into today, and also in that win streak, 2 straight games not committing any errors.
And 2 straight games winning by just a single run. So finally the Dores getting some clutch production down the stretch and coming out on the good side of some tight contest. Trey, today the Dores try to keep the train rolling because they send right-hander Juaron Watts Brown to the mound.
It's the right guy on the mound, too. Juaron just needs to get the run support today. It's so important for the Dores to score a lot early, like we saw yesterday, to get Juaron into that groove. That's something Watts Brown has really needed all season. We've seen a lot of bright spots from him this year, but they haven't been the brightest because he hasn't gotten the run support. So if everything comes together to help out the guy on the mound, Watts Brown and the Dores should be just fine today.
So Watts Brown, a power arm out of the Dores starting rotation, who has been here the entire summer. they get an experienced guy on the mound, but he's facing off against a tough starter for Wareham, Logan.
Yeah, Jack Sokol had a very fine year in the 2022 season, but he's only made one appearance with the Wareham Gatemen this summer. He had 2.25 ERA, a couple of strikeouts, but he's had a little bit of an interesting college career. Went from Auburn, spent a little time with the Tigers, played some JUCO ball, as you like to call them, the JUCO products, transferring to Pitt in the fall. So should be fun to see him on. You mentioned Juaron Watts Brown. This is only his second home start. It always seems that he's tossing on the road, and he's had 6 starts this season coming into today. All of them have been against different teams, so it should be a fun one.
Juaron's also been a hard luck starter this year for Falmouth in terms of decisions. He enters the day 1-3. Of course, that doesn't tell the whole story, but Trey, you have the starters, you have some key players in this matchup, but what do you have for Trey's takes for today's matchup?
I have Trey's takes for today. It's to basically do what you did yesterday and get going early, but keep it going. You know, that's something the Commodores really need to do today. We saw the 3 spot in the first, the 1 spot in the second, but absolutely nothing after. A lot of hitters going 3 up, 3 down. That can't happen today. Knowing how well Wareham is on the other side, this is a much better hitting team, I would argue, than Bourne. We've talked about it a lot, you and I, Carter, where it's the best 3 in the lineup. You know, Max Anderson and Hogan Windish are going to be that 2 and 3 spot. That's their 1-2 punch right there in the Gatemen, and that's just expected for runs to be exploded upon, right? So it's really important for the Dores to get it done offensively. We need the 1-2 punch of Alex Mooney and Colby Halter to get it going. Maybe a couple of fist bumps, a couple of words like, let's do this, to get the Dores on top. Huge games today. I'd argue, boys, game of the year.
So there you have it. You have Juaron Watts Brown starting for Falmouth and a couple keys offensively for the Dores to keep up a more consistent rhythm at the plate than what we saw yesterday when they burst out with 3 runs in the first and then tailed off in that game. That's the key today against the Wareham Gatemen with 4th place in the Western Division on the line. It's the Dores and the Gatemen at 6 p.m. today at the Guv. Trey, Redfield, and Logan Soforenko will be on the broadcast. I'll be down on the field today. We'll see you for first pitch soon. This has been Opening the Door.
Brenner McClone. Liam Matthews. Hunter Mayo. And Wes Morneau. Throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch, representing himself and his fellow Commodore Bat Boys, is Cole Donnellan. All right, Cole, let's see it. Returning to sing the national anthem for the Falmouth Commodores tonight is the Trade Winds Quartet a cappella group. This group was formed for the performance of Music Man by the Falmouth Theater Guild in 1999 and has been singing up street and down valley ever since. Trade Winds has performed locally at numerous venues including Arts Alive and Holidays at Highfield, as well as a wide variety of charitable and social functions. please rise and remove your caps for the performance of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, for the two words we love to hear, we'd like to welcome back our Commodore Bat Boys. Let's hear it, guys.
Play ball!
We welcome you to Arnie Allen Diamond at Guv Fuller Field for today's Western Division matchup between the Wareham Gatemen, losers by a score of 15-1 to Hyannis last night, and the Falmouth Commodores, winners of 2 straight contests. Sole possession of 4th place in the West is on the line for tonight's matchup. It's great to have you with us, along with Carter Bainbridge and Trey, Redfield, Logan, Soforenko. Great to have you with us. And Trey, the Falmouth Commodores entered today with a 2-game winning streak, but they're facing a Wareham Gatemen team that has a lot on the line as well as far as Western Division placement.
This is the biggest game of the year, Logan. 2 teams that are tied for 4th place right now. Wareham streaking, Falmouth streaking positively, though. The Gatemen are on a 3-game losing streak right now. The Dores have won 2 straight, but going back to the point of how important tonight is, if you win, not only do you take the season series so far against Wareham, improving to 3-2 against our friends across the bridge, but if you win tonight, you find yourself in sole possession of 4th place. That's the final playoff spot in the Western Division, Logan.
Different playoff format than last year, but the original one. And for more on all of the matchup tonight, we're going to send it down to the 3rd member of our team, Carter Bainbridge. Carter, what do you got?
Line for the Dores today is this. Beat the Wareham Gatemen, and the Dores will be in sole possession of 4th place in the Western Division. Why does that matter? Well, in the Cape League this year, the top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs, and the Dores would be in a spot to do so with 13 games left on the schedule. On the other side, the Wareham Gatemen have lost 3 games coming into today consecutively, including last night's 15-1 blowout loss against the Hyannis Harborhawks. If the Dores can keep up their positive momentum today with a 3rd straight win over a division opponent, it'll go a long way in ensuring that this isn't the first 2 seasons in a row without playoffs in Falmouth since 2006. Guys?
Well, thank you so much, Carter. And the Falmouth Commodores are going to go with a pretty trustworthy arm, and it seems that he's been getting the starts a lot on recent Saturdays. It's going to be the righty from Long Beach State, Juaron Watts Brown.
It's our favorite starter, Logan. You and I, we are big fans of Juaron Watts Brown because of his capability of controlling games on the mound. He has an ERA of 5.68, making his 6th start this season. He hasn't had a home start since, what, Orleans in the doubleheader on June 19th. So it's been a little while since he's pitched in Falmouth, but he had 19 innings pitched. That leads the team. He's only given up 12 earned runs, striking out 24, but something that Juaron needs to find today early, and each and every count that he has against batters, it's pretty simple. 2 words, strike 1. He finds that, he's going to be able to control his game.
He had a fantastic outing at Stony Brook Field back on July 9th as the Wareham Gatemen will send up
Chase Davis to lead things off. Max Anderson, Ryan Campos, Hogan Windish in the cleanup spot today. Then Kellum Clark, Blake Wright, Carter Graham, Jack Hausinger, and Devin Burks, the Wareham Gatemen lineup. Umpires for today, Carlos Domo at third, Ryan DeMar at first, Eric Carmona behind home plate. Same crew as last night, just a different assignment for tonight's contest. And we are underway. Ball one low to Chase Davis, 6:02 official first pitch start time. A little bit of clouds, a lot of sky, and good amount of sun. Quickly 2-0 on Chase Davis, who comes into today hitting .320, 25 at-bats on the short season. 1 run driven in. He's walked twice and has struck out 7 times. He is quickly ahead in the count 3-0.
You mentioned a stat of Watts Brown. Watts Brown's the guy that has pitched against every single team each and every time he started, right?
Yes.
That was
that
the
is
team.
correct.
That's right.
3-0 misses outside, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Chase Davis. The Falmouth Commodore defense, nothing too crazy today that we have not seen already. Colby Halter at third, Alex Mooney at short. Jackson Nicholas is playing second base today. Jacob Walsh at first. Outfield left to right, Corey Collins, Andrew Pinkney, and Drew Brutcher, as Josiah Cromwick will be doing the catching for Juaron Watts Brown. So now here is Max Anderson, the great hitter coming into today. And he'll look at strike one. Anderson, as we mentioned, the last time these two teams squared off here at Guv Fuller Field, had a 13-game hitting streak broken up. Watts Brown, as he talked about it, getting that strike one, so important for Juaron. Fly ball into left. Collins makes the catch, one gone.
It's been a while since we've seen Corey Collins out there, but I got to do some investigating with Corey. We haven't seen him behind the plate today, even though he was listed as a catcher with Georgia this season. He did more of the DH role than the catching role with the Bulldogs this year. But here in Falmouth, he's done a lot of outfield work, a lot of left field, a lot of right field. Something I'm going to find out before the next home game against Chatham, Logan. I'm going to figure out if he's transitioning to the outfield in Athens next year. I promise you that. Hold me to that.
There we go.
Hold me to that.
He's done a fantastic job out there on left this season as well. First pitch to Ryan Campos misses inside. Ryan Campos, a .231 hitter coming into today. He is the 3 hitter for the Wareham Gatemen. 1-0. 1-1 the count now. Well, Campos, he is listed as a catcher himself, not doing the catching duties today for Wareham. They're going with their new guy from Kentucky, Devin Burks. But Campos, the Sun Devil, with a 1-1 count, looks at strike two. Watts Brown in that outing against the Brewster Whitecaps, which was at Stony Brook Field last Saturday, went 4 innings, 3 hits, only 1 run allowed, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Would have been in line for the victory, but did not go that 5th inning. Looking for his first strikeout here. On a 1-2 pitch, Campos looks at ball 2 as it gets all the way to the backstop, and Chase Davis will advance.
Yeah, wild pitch there that got over the left shoulder of Cromwick. Not really much he can do there. Kind of a bad hop as well in front of home plate. Gets over the top of Cromwick, and it lets Davis take advantage. This is a guy who had a lot of praise given from the Wareham Gatemen broadcasting team talking to them today. They were telling me that Davis is the best player on this team. He brings most of the 5 tools to the table, one of them being speed. If one ball is put into play here, Logan, in the outfield, Davis is certain to score.
The 2-2. And the count's run full. Well, Campos in the batter's box has 2 home runs. The Wareham Gatemen have just 1 home run against the Falmouth Commodores. That was off of the bat of Ty Evans at Spillane Field. And it was off of his teammate, Ryan Slater, at Florida. Runner in scoring position for the Gatemen early, though. Trey, it's always fun talking to the other broadcasters and hearing their takes on their players. A lot of praise in a very big matchup tonight for sole possession of 4th place. On a payoff pitch, Campos goes down swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Juaron Watts Brown, and there are 2 gone.
Kind of dared Campos with that pitch, said, hey, I'm going to give you something over to plate. You want it, go after it. If you miss it, sucks. Second option's what happened. Good job there from Watts Brown challenging these hitters, but this hitter right here, Logan, is a challenge in itself, Hogan Windish.
First pitch he sees is cut right through, 0-1. Well, Hogan Windish has punished the Falmouth Commodores pitching staff this season. 375 against the Dores with 6 runs driven in. 2 of those runs came in the 9th inning on last Sunday's contest here at the Guv. 0-1. Nice pitch there from Watts Brown, 0-2. He wants back-to-back Ks.
And he also wants to attack. You know, the best pitchers are the ones that attack the best hitters. You're up there for a reason. Watts Brown is showing that reason right now. He's got to keep it going, you know. Maybe you can get away with a pitch here, but still got to take advantage.
On an 0-2 pitch, Windish looks at strike 3 on the outside part of the strike zone. Watts Brown strikes out back-to-back batters. We go to the bottom of the 1st inning, scoreless.
Hey Commodores fans, sharpen your baseball skills with some of America's finest players from the best college programs in the country. Clinic attendees will have opportunities to work on hitting, base running, infield and outfield play, as well as pitching and catching. Attendees will also participate in Commodores Chat, where coaches and players discuss topics like sportsmanship, academics, teamwork, and other issues important to being an all-around player. Clinics are offered Tuesday, June 21st through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 3 separate clinics will be offered for ages 5 to 14.
Welcome back to Guv Fuller Field. The Falmouth Commodores pitcher Juaron Watts Brown with a fantastic effort to get out of that inning. Just 1 base runner allowed, but back-to-back strikeouts. It's going to be Jack Sokol, the right-handed starting pitcher who will be at Pittsburgh this coming season. 1 appearance on the year, and Trey, Wareham Gatemen are looking for something nice out of him tonight.
They're going to need it. We talked about what's at stake. Whoever wins tonight between these 2 teams are in sole possession of 4th place, that final playoff spot in the Cape League. Sokol is a guy who's really been around in his college baseball career. He started with Auburn, went to Pensacola State, and now he's at Pittsburgh. You know, he's what we call a hashtag JUCO product, like I always like to say. You got on me for that and opening the door. I'm glad you did. That's what they go by, too. They praise it a lot.
First pitch to Alex Mooney's in there for strike 1. Alex Mooney leading things off for the Dores. A lot of JUCO products transferring and playing summer ball. 0-1 misses low, 1-1. Mooney coming into today and hitting .252 and struggling this week as he's looking to get something right here. A lot of first pitch attacking. 2-1 now.
And there's sorry to cut you off there, friend, but there's always a lot of movement at this point in the year. Players are trying to figure out something new, something better for their careers. We've seen a couple of guys on the Dores transfer, some in the portal. That's just the way it goes.
Mooney looks at strike 2. Mooney hitting 7 doubles on the year, 3 home runs. He struck out 16 times as well. Sokol working fast. Chopper to the right side and foul. And you talked about that a lot in the middle parts of the week with the pitchers hitting their limits. Grayson Hitt gave us absolutely. Grayson Hitt gave us a very big hug when he left in the middle of the week. On a 2-2 pitch, Mooney looks at strike 3. Sokol strikes out the first batter he faces. And there is one gone as we take a look at the Wareham defense. Max Anderson at third, Wright at short, Jack Hausinger at second, Graham at first, and outfield left to right, Hogan, Windish, Chase Davis, and then Clark over there in right. Devin Burks doing the catching for Sokol. So the Falmouth Commodores, first time in quite a while, see the leadoff batter go down via way of the K to start a game as Colby Halter looks at strike one, or ball one, I should say.
What you just saw on your screen, you see Colby Halter right now, but what you just saw on the screen with that field diagram is the best defensive team on Cape Cod. The Gatemen only have 21 errors this season. That's the least in the CCBL.
1-0 misses outside. 2-0. Well, the Wareham defense against Falmouth in the first 4 contests have committed just 2 errors. 2-0. Got some fastball that he likes to go on the outside part of the strike zone with, and he's been feeling it, especially in these first couple at bats. That's how we got Alex Mooney.
That's going to be the part of the zone that's going to be the big part of tonight. Goes after it again. Strike 2 again. It's odd, right? Because 2 pitches ago, that was ball 1. And maybe that's what Halter's talking about right now with Eric Carmona on the plate tonight.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sokol. And that's going to bring up Peyton Stovall. Well, we talked about it in opening the door, the 1-2 punch of Mooney and Halter. Never a good sign when you see them strike out back-to-back to lead off a game. But Peyton Stovall has been swinging a nice bat. So impressive. He's only struck out this season twice.
And one of the times was the first time he struck out, Logan, was when he wasn't even ready for the 2-strike pitch. He was calling time against this same Wareham squad on Michael Sandstone.
1-0 pitch misses outside. 2-0. Peyton Stovall coming into today, hitting .222, 8 for his first 36. 4 runs driven in. He's walked 5 times as well. On a 2-0 pitch, Stovall chops this one off of the catcher, Burks, and towards the Wareham dugout. 2-1. Well, Stovall had a little teaching moment to myself last night. Did not know that a fielder's choice RBI was scored an RBI. Never said it on the broadcast, but you learned something new. 2-1, 1 hops the plate. So that's his 4th run driven in this year, his 2nd one on the ground. He had an RBI ground out against the YD Red Sox just a week and a half ago.
You did know that was scored in RBI, right?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
3-1. 2-out walk for Stovall. And there's that outside part of the strike zone that haven't really gotten a good read off of. And something that we don't normally see is Andrew Pinckney hitting cleanup. It's usually Jacob Walsh, perhaps on every game that he's been with the Falmouth Commodores.
Yeah, Pinckney's a guy who normally you see 5th, sometimes rarely 6th in the order, but also a little bit of 3rd. You know, this is a good opportunity for Pinckney to see a spot in the order that, you know, he's not really used to this summer. Did a little bit of it at Alabama this year, but not much in Falmouth.
That pitch is jammed the other way and foul towards the grandstands. Pinckney hit 5th last night, and that's usually where he's been hitting. Pinckney last night had a great effort at the plate, 2 for 4, had a triple, a leadoff triple, and was stranded.
It was in left center field,
yes,
too. Keep in mind, it was on the half where third base is.
1-1 now. He was actually stranded with nobody out, so something that the Dores could not do last night was capitalize a lot. They stranded 10 base runners against the Bravos. Stovall over there at first base. On a 1-1, Pinckney looks at a breaking ball that misses upstairs. 2-1. And that is what some may say the deepest part of the ballpark where Pinckney hit that triple, in that alley.
In left center field?
Yes, in
I'd
that
argue
alley.
right center field is.
Another 3-1 count with 2 outs for Jack Sokol.
Who told you it was left center field?
I was told by Chase Jeter.
Okay.
It's one of those gaps. It is definitely left center or right center.
Right center field gives me the Fenway vibe. With the
Oh,
triangle.
yes. Gives us Oracle Park Triples alley vibes right there.
Oh, goodness.
Pinckney is granted time by Eric Carmona. But Andrew Pinckney with those wheels trying to do something with a 3-1 count. He drives one into right center field towards the gap, ranging over is Clark, and he makes the catch. Stovall is stranded as we go to the top of the second inning scoreless.
Want to house a Falmouth Commodore? Be sure to sign up to become a host family today. Hosting a Cape League player can be very rewarding. Players connect and bond with the families, often forming lifelong relationships. Please remember that every Commodores player is bound and governed by NCAA rules and regulations. In order to maintain their collegiate athletic ability, host families receive a weekly allowance from the Falmouth Commodores to help cover player expenses. Host families are not required to provide transportation to players. The Falmouth Commodores are very grateful to the wonderful families that host our players each and every year. If you are interested in hosting a Falmouth Commodores player for the summer, contact our housing coordinator, Lisa Smuda, at lisatz143@comcast.net. For more information, visit our website at falmouthcommodores.com. Thank you for supporting our players, and roll Dores.
Well, the Dores go scoreless as we are in the top of the second inning. Juaron Watts Brown got 2 strikeouts of his own back in the top of the first inning. And something that is very encouraging from Juaron is the ability to strike these batters out, because back in the last start against Brewster, he only struck out 3. Didn't get his first strikeout till the 3rd out of the second inning. Encouraging to see him attack the zone early and emphasize your point and the importance of strike 1.
Yeah, he's really just got to find it here. Something that I really like with Watts Brown, though, is how he works in jams. You know, he gives up a couple of base runners, but as the season has gone along, it's coming from the fan side of me, I'm not nervous about it because I know how he's able to work his way out of it. That's something he's done really well this season. He has runners on base, doesn't matter.
So now here is Kellum Clark, and he'll look at ball 1 upstairs. Kellum Clark hails from Hale State, Mississippi State, where he hit .257 this past spring. Did he go around? He did not, according to third base umpire Carlos Dolmo. 2-0 now. Kellum Clark coming into today hitting .271. And he'll look at strike 1 right there. Has 5 doubles on the year, 6 runs driven in. He's walked 10 times and has struck out 19 times. The 2-1. And Watts Brown has another 3-ball count.
That's how the top of the first inning started. Watts Brown threw 4 straight balls, got himself out of it. Let's find out what he does here.
Wants strike 2, and he got it. So the count's full now. Second full count from Watts Brown. Kellum Clark, who walked 26 times with Mississippi State, goes down swinging here. Leadoff strikeout for Juaron Watts Brown. His 3rd strikeout of the day and his 3rd in a row.
That was nasty. Went with a slider there. Just going on the other side of the plate. Filthy work from Watts Brown, but he's got to keep it going against, some would say, Commodore killer in Blake Wright.
Wright looks at ball 1 outside. I talked about his breaking ball in the last broadcast. He loves using that slider. He said he wants to use his curveball more, but his slider works for him. As the 1-0 misses outside, 2-0. First time we've seen Juaron Watts Brown rock the low pants. Saw this with Brutcher earlier in the week.
Oh, yeah.
On a 2-0 pitch, Wright sends this ball in the air to right. And Brutcher makes the catch. 2 gone. And we saw good results with Drew Brutcher when he had the low pants. First at bat, 2-run Jimmy over the right field wall.
It sneaked right over, too. That's something with this fence. A lot of line drives are here. You don't know if it's going to get out or not. It always finds a way to sneak right over.
So now that's going to bring up Carter Graham as he chops one over the Wareham dugout. Nothing in one. Carter Graham hitting 189, 1 run driven in, 3 walks, struck out 11 times, does not have a stolen base. Count even at 1. Graham hails from Stanford. On a 1-1 pitch, Graham takes a big hack at that one on a slider and comes up empty. I mentioned the Smurf turf field in high school a couple weeks ago. He went to Chaminade. He was an Eagle in Southern California. He was.
So he played on the blue field?
1-2 misses outside. 2-2. He did.
He did.
Well, he didn't play on it. That's the football field. The baseball field did not have blue turf, but he is another Eagle on Cape Cod.
Is Chaminade near you?
It is.
Okay.
On a 2-2 pitch, Graham works the count full. So Juaron Watts Brown has seen quite a few full counts today. That's his 3rd one. But he also has 3 strikeouts. The payoff. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 4th strikeout for Juaron Watts Brown. He goes to the slider again, and we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. The 2-2 again. In the air to left center field. Chestnut coming in. He dives. Did he make the catch? He did. Travis Chestnut keeps the Falmouth lead. How about that? 0-2 is grounded to the right side. Shaw fires over to first and retires Halter. The Bourne Braves have 3 outs to either tie it or take the lead. The 1-2 again. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The ball game is over. Joey Ryan gets the 5-out save. The Falmouth Commodores will play the Wareham Gatemen tomorrow as they are both tied in the Western Division with 26 points. Another big tilt against a Western Division opponent coming up. Back here at Guv Fuller Field, boy, what a contest last night was. Big effort from Joey Ryan. They were chanting his name in the stands last night. We heard "Close the Door," and we heard Joey as Jacob Walsh leads things off for the Falmouth Commodores. Talked about the mixture of the pants. Walsh still rocking with those high socks. And he will look at ball 1 outside. Boy, that play from Travis Chestnut last night, that was something.
I would say it's the best moment of the season.
1-0 catches some strike zone, 1-1. We've had a couple of those this year where an outfielder has extended to rob extra bases to save a game. As the 1-1, one hops the plate. Perfect one you can think of was the Andrew Pinckney dive and catch to keep the Falmouth 4-3 lead against the Brewster Whitecaps. Something about 4-3.
Actually, no, that's number 1. That's number 1. Chestnut, top 3.
2-1 is set the other way for a base hit. How about some opposite field hitting for Jacob Walsh? It's a leadoff single. He had an opposite field single the last time the Wareham Gatemen and the Falmouth Commodores played. It was actually their first contest. It was at the time a go-ahead 2-run single that made it 4-3. They did not win that game 4-3. They ended up winning 6-4 on some Alex Mooney magic as Josiah Cromwell steps into the batter's box.
Yeah, that was the at-bat where I said Walsh was due, and he turned in his library books on time.
Cromwick looks at ball 1 outside. Well, we are getting deep in the season here. 3-1. I should say game 31.
You have it highlighted on your
I
scorebook.
do. Cromwick looks at strike 1 inside. Cromwick coming into today, hitting .211. 8 for his first 38 since coming to the Dores. 2 runs driven in. 7 walks, and he has struck out 11 times. As he lines that one towards the camera well, 1-2. Well, we talk about Wareham's offensive success. Falmouth hitting relatively well against the Gatemen, hitting .240 as a team coming into today. 31 of 129. On a 1-2 pitch, Cromwick looks at ball 2 outside as Burks keeps it in front of him. The Falmouth Commodores play their second to last game of the season and their final road game of the season at Spillane Field.
Hoping it's not their last one of the entire season, including posts, but they got to get there first.
Another foul ball from Cromwick. And that's one where the Bourne Braves with a little bit of separation over the Gatemen and the Dores. Braves with 32 points. But still a lot of baseball left. 2-2, runner goes. Chopper to the left side. Anderson gathers and fires over to first. Walsh advances over there at second base. So it essentially does the purpose of a sac bunt.
It essentially does the purpose of a hit and run of some sorts. You advance the runner. That's the base part of the hit and run. Get the guy over to the next station. That's exactly what they did. Walsh doesn't go on a hit and run right there, Logan, and it's a bouncer. That's a 5-6-3 double play any day of the week. The Ducks that we have on this team, not the fastest. Luckily enough, Walsh went, though, and he's staying on second base.
Thankfully, it wasn't a line out or a fly out as Brutcher steps into the batter's box.
That's worst case scenario with the hit and run.
And he'll look at ball 1 outside. Brutcher coming into today hitting .209, 3 home runs, 11 runs driven in. He's walked 7 times and has struck out 31 times, which is a team leading mark. But he's been swinging the bat very well here in July. On a 1-0 pitch, Brutcher looks at a very nice pitch there from Sokol for strike 1. A lot of lefties today against the right-handed pitcher Sokol.
Nothing new there.
Oh, absolutely not. The 1-1. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, 1-2. Falmouth Commodores in their doubleheader against Orleans lined up with 8 lefty bats.
Back in June 19th?
Back on June 19th, it was game number 1.
And the other one was probably a switch hitter. I think
it was. It was Anthony
I think
McKenzie.
it was Anthony McKenzie, yeah. So, 8.5.
1-2 misses upstairs.
And isn't McKenzie a guy who likes to hit left-handed more too, or is that just Boyers?
I believe that's just Boyers.
I think it's just Luke, yeah.
AMAC has not told us a preferred side.
We're going to find that out.
We are.
We're going to find that out.
Has a home run against the Wareham Gatemen at Spillane Field in the lefty batter's box.
It's the first time we played him.
On a 2-2 pitch, will not be fired as Jacob Walsh draws the attention of Sokol. That was a month ago. Feels like just yesterday.
Did you see the way Walsh looked at Sokol? It's like you're really worrying about me.
Brutcher works the count full. Quite a few full counts for both pitchers today. The Dores have 1 walk, and the Gatemen have 1 walk.
That's the 4th full count today.
Between both clubs.
Between both clubs. That's Sokol's first full count. And honestly, the way the Commodores work their at-bats, the way they've been doing all season, whether it was a cold June or the hot July that they're in right now, expect that number to go up.
Well, it indeed does go up as Brutcher draws ball 4. Second walk of the day. Falmouth came into today against the Wareham Gatemen walking 21 times. So they keep that trend rolling, make that 23 against the Gatemen. Beauty of getting deep in the season, you have all these compiled stats with a large sample size.
Yeah.
Matchup number 5 between the Gatemen.
I mean, that's expected, right? Division opponent.
Absolutely.
You're not
playing
that
6 times a year.
Right. You're not that far from them either. It's a 20-minute drive without rotary traffic. That's
Walsh,
in bold.
Walsh tried to get a little, they call it read ball dirt, but he elects to stay back over there at second base. Falmouth Commodores with a couple of runners on today. 3 base runners. 1 runner was stranded back in the first inning. Collins ahead in the count 1-0. Came off the bench last night and delivered a double. And he will look at strike one.
Yeah, last time Corey Collins came up to the plate, he didn't even look at it. He didn't even work a count. He saw a pitch that he liked last night coming in the pinch hit. Got a double in the right center field. Tapped on second. Gave his helmet to Luke Boyers, the pinch run for him.
And Boyers was indeed stranded.
He was.
But the Dores came away with the victory. And that's one of those Carter Bainbridge and I talked about, the great move by manager Jeff Trundy to put Collins in. Collins executes, and then Boyers comes in on the bases.
Need that glove out there in the outfield. It was a perfect execution by Jeff Trundy, something he told me that his team needs to do throughout the season in these close games, like I said last day on the field. If they execute in their most important parts of the games, Logan, then they could find themselves being successful in the final stretch.
The amount of one-run wins and losses between a Western Division opponent this year is absolutely insane for the Dores. But a 2-1 count on Collins with 2 runners on. Another 3-ball count for Sokol. Well, Corey Collins has been forcing a lot of walks recently. He's had a couple of multi-walk games in the past week and a half. A 143 hitter, 4 doubles, 1 run driven in, 9 walks, and struck out 23 times. That RBI came in the Hyannis win the other night, which was a spectacular catch by the left fielder for Hyannis, Christian Moore, as he laid out, robbed extra bases, but the Dores took the lead on that sac fly. Burks and Sokol elect to have a quick conversation as they're at risk of having the bases loaded for a kid on deck who is no stranger to bases loaded situations. On a 3-1 pitch, Collins looks at strike 2, and the count is full. Late call there by home plate umpire Eric Carmona. Collins thought he had ball 4, but instead it's the 5th full count of the day. Just in the game combined. Payoff is spoiled foul. We'll do it again.
In what world is that a strike? I mean, I'm being serious. Like, that was called a ball in previous at-bats. It's not strike 2 yet. Well, now it is. It wasn't strike 2 at the time. That's what you'll call on a 2-strike count. But I think Collins should be on base right now.
On a payoff pitch, Collins looks at ball 4 outside. Well, there it is to your point.
And that one was
there
even
it is to your point.
closer.
However, Corey Collins wins the battle, and here comes Jackson Nicholas. I talked about a man who is no stranger to the bases loaded. That's because in that upset victory back in the College World Series, he hit the grand slam. And he absolutely went crazy. That made all of social media. And
what game was that?
Here he is. Was that was the A&M game, correct?
I think so, yeah.
That was the A&M game.
So many SEC teams in the CWS this year.
It was the A&M game. First pitch he sees is a breaking ball that misses outside, 1-0. Nicholas with the Dores this summer. 1 for his first 13, 2 runs driven in. He's walked 4 times and has struck out 7 times. 2-run base knock at Stony Brook Field just a week ago today. 1-0. 2-0 now. As even you put your hand up to say, Jacob Walsh, don't go.
I like to think I helped him out. Like there was this one time where I think it was July 4th. Pinckney came from 2nd to 3rd and then came home because the ball was still behind the backstop. I went like this. I was like, did you see me do that? And he was like, no. And I was like, dang.
Bases loaded on back-to-back walks. Swung right through, 2-1. Well, the Falmouth Commodores, 19 runs scored against the Wareham Gatemen coming into today. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second. On a 2-1 pitch, Nicholas looks at ball 3 inside. And now Sokol's got to be careful here because if he walks Nicholas, Mooney lurks on deck. And there is no movement in that Wareham bullpen. On a 3-1 pitch, Nicholas looks at strike 2. Walsh over there at third base. He reached on a leadoff single. Brutcher walked, and Collins walked. As the Falmouth fans clapping their hands. Ground ball right side. Graham over to second for 1. Back over to first, and it is a double play. An inning-ending double play. How about the presence of mind of Jack Sokol to cover first base as we go to the top of the 3rd inning with a very special guest joining us. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Commodore fans. Thanks for joining us and cheering on your Falmouth Commodores. Want to take a break from the action? Come make a visit to the merchandise booth. Check us out behind home plate. We have a bunch of new designs for you to purchase, from hats to shirts, jerseys, crew necks, wine glasses, and even baby bibs. You think of it, we probably have it. From youth sizes to even adult double XLs. We have everything you need for family and friends. Be sure to come say hello and get a piece of Falmouth merch. Make a trip before we close up shop in the 9th inning. See you soon, and roll Dores.
Welcome back to Guv Fuller Field. We're in the top of the 3rd inning, and to my right, I am joined by a very special guest, no stranger to the Falmouth Commodore fan base. In his 2nd year covering the Falmouth Commodores, it is Falmouth beat writer Tommy Mumma. Tommy, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Logan.
Oh, absolutely. I've been told you're no stranger to doing some interviews with us mid-game because you got so many thoughts, but let's jump right into things as the leadoff hitter, Jack Hausinger, will get things going here for the Wareham Gatemen. Matchup number 5 against the Wareham Gatemen, but that was a tough out in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
It was definitely a tough way to end the inning there on a double play, but, you know, at least they're getting some guys on base. Definitely a positive there.
Ball 1 to Jack Hausinger. So you travel with the broadcasters and you go to all the away games last year and this year. So you have a lot of vision and a lot of notes and insight on this team. It's always a pleasure to talk to you about what goes on with this team, but we've seen a lot of great stuff from Juaron Watts Brown this year.
For sure. I've definitely been impressed by him. His stuff has been really good. I don't think it's always reflected in, you know, the numbers. I would say with the ERA, it's a little inflated, but if you look at it, he's pitching like 3 innings and giving up a couple runs.
That was a nice spot there from Watts Brown. Didn't necessarily get the call, but we talked about him coming into today 1-3. He had a nice start at Brewster last week. He was in line for the victory, but didn't go the 5th inning as that ball was torched to right field towards the pole, and it is a foul ball, and the counts run full. But, Tommy, walk me through the differences between covering last year's team and this year's team. Last year was the first year back from the COVID shutdown and hiatus, I guess you could say, but tell me a little bit about the differences between not just the teams and the players, but the experience for you as the beat writer.
Yeah, I would say definitely a little more comfortable this year. No, you know, obviously the coaching staff, a few players are back as well from last year's team, so always great to see them and, you know, all the great people in the organization.
Fly ball in a shallow right center, and Pinckney makes another spectacular catch on a dive.
Seems like we're seeing that all the time, Logan. He's been great out there.
He had a fantastic route the other night, and we saw Travis Chestnut make that very, very nice catch in left field to keep the 4-3 lead for Falmouth. But, yeah, you talked about it. It's a blast to cover these guys because you get to know these guys personally as that pitch is in there for strike 1. But when the players walk by you, especially the returners, they recognize you from last year's season.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great personalities on this team for sure. And, you know, it's definitely a fun team to cover. But, yeah, I'm thrilled to be back. I mean, you know, I mean, it's always great covering this talent and all the great players we get to see night in and night out.
Well, this year you got to do something you didn't get to experience last year, which was the Fenway day as that slider's in there for strike number 2. Last year you guys got to go to the game, and this year you get to actually cover the workout You were with me on that one. What was it like on your end? I even interviewed you that day as well.
Yeah, it was a great day. I think anybody that was there would tell you it was just such a great experience. I know our director, Sean, we were talking about that we didn't get to have that experience last year. So I think it's great for these guys to be able to show off their talents in front of so many scouts there.
Ground ball to Mooney. Backhanded play over to first, and Devin Burks is retired. And there are 2 gone here in the top of the 3rd inning. Well, Tommy, we saw Alex Mooney take some BP at Fenway Park. He expressed that he was trying to hit the ball into the seats in the Green Monster, but he said that he either hit it high enough but not hard enough, and hard enough not high enough.
Yeah, he was definitely very close. I know he was one that we were keeping our eye on for sure during batting practice, and didn't quite get over the wall, but definitely put on a good performance, I would say. Hit a couple off the Green Monster.
So now here's Chase Davis, the leadoff batter for the Gatemen, as he skies one into the infield as Halter makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Tommy, don't go anywhere. I'm keeping you for one more half inning.
Sounds good.
Dores coming up. It's the top of the order, and Alex Mooney.
And can you draw your college logo? Nice.
There we go.
I
That's
can see
actually
it.
good. That's
I can
actually
see
really
it.
good.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
I don't know how flames go.
But I can try to give you a frog. Looks more like a pig than a frog. That's no frog. That's
wrong.
bad. That's more like that's bad.
I know it's got like a weird.
Wow, okay, yeah. No, I can't draw the basic one, you know. Okay, do not judge me, please. Very stress. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
We gotta erase puddles right there.
There's puddles.
That looks like a turkey.
That's actually really good. That's really good.
Well, we welcome you back to the broadcast booth, joined by Tommy Mumma for a 2nd inning, I guess you could say, realistically, or the full inning, but half inning we'll say. And Tommy had a great accomplishment in last year's season. It's actually hanging on the wall in our press box. You had an article featured in the Boston Globe. First of all, what article was it, and also what did that mean for you as a writer and a reporter for the team?
Yeah, it was really a great experience. So Peter Abraham, he's a beat writer for the Boston Red Sox. He actually gave me the opportunities, like if you want to write like a little scouting report about some players that impressed you around the league, I would. I think it's Sunday Baseball Notes that it's called, and yeah, it was a really great experience. I'm glad I got to do it. I'm very thankful to him for sure.
Well, ball one to Alex Mooney, and he is an absolute legend in the Boston Red Sox community. As the 1-0 is torched to left field and down for a base hit. Alex Mooney with his first single on the day. And that's always encouraging when the leadoff batter reaches via a base hit. But Tommy, going back to the writing reports that you do, you're such a hard worker. I mean, we come back from Chatham, we came back from Veterans Field that one time, and you're working and typing on your computer. You even did it coming back to Fenway Park, and I don't know how you do that, but you get them done, though. You get the articles done.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, sometimes on the way back, got to get some work done, got to get out as timely as possible. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, no place I'd rather be in the summer. I mean, this is great.
So now Colby Halter will step into the batter's box, who struck out swinging on 5 pitches in the first inning. He'll look at ball one outside. How does this team differ from last year's team? Because last year, very different talent, had some returners this year. Obviously, had Mikey Tepper, had Braden Taylor for a little bit. Luke Boyers is back, and there's a couple more. But how do these teams compare to each other when it comes to not just the talent, but the energy that they bring on the field?
It's a great question. I think this team seems like they're a pretty close-knit group. And, you know, last year's team was for sure, but it seemed like right away, you know, this team was, you know, I'm looking for the word.
They had that better chemistry quickly. They had the team environment in the dugout that, sometimes just forms naturally.
100%. And I'd say that wasn't necessarily there as early on as it was with this year's team, but I think both teams are really great groups, like you mentioned, and a lot of talented players for sure. And great to have some of those guys back. We had Braden Taylor for a little bit, and, Chase Jeter, and then obviously we had Mikey Tepper and Levi Wells, some great personalities there. But, yeah, they were both, each team is unique, but they've both been great groups for sure.
2-2 on Halter now. Try not to strike out for the second time today as Mooney gets back safely over at first base. But how big is it that we have the All-Star game back this year? Because that's pretty awesome that we have some All-Stars on our team as well, as Mooney takes off and the pitch is fouled off of the glove of Burks.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for that. I think that'll be great to see the home run derby as well. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And the All-Star game will be great because last year, obviously, they named All-Stars, but, a couple of guys on this team, Chase Jeter and Jace Borfin, they were named All-Stars, but didn't get the experience of playing in the All-Star game. So I think it's great for these guys for sure.
Third strikeout for Sokol, and it's the second time he's gotten Colby Halter. And that's going to bring up Peyton Stovall. Well, when you talk about the home run derby, you got any dark horse picks for if you had to pick one person off the Falmouth Commodores who you think would represent the Dores in the home run derby?
That's a good question.
There's a few.
Yeah, I would say Jacob Walsh right now. I think he'd be great in the home run derby. Colby Halter has some pop for sure too. I mean, I wouldn't consider him a power hitter, but he can hit the ball out of the park. So, but Jacob Walsh should be my pick.
Peyton Stovall behind in the count, 0-1. Mooney still over there at first base. Alex Mooney with a couple stolen bases this year. He has been picked off this year too, as that pitch misses outside, 1-1. So when you're covering a team, and now that you have 2 years under your belt, as we're basically coming to the conclusion of the season, what do you look for to cover? What are some things that you say, hey, I got to have this in my article. This is what I have to look for when I come to the ballpark at the beginning of the game to include?
That's a great question. I think every game's different. Coach Trundy is always a great interview, so he'll always give really good insight. I think he's somebody that I always want to talk to after the games because he'll really give you, a sense of where the team's at, and always very positive too, whether they're going through a tough stretch or not. So, it differs from game to game for sure, but definitely try to get some good interviews.
3-1 now on Peyton Stovall, who reached on a 5-pitch walk back in the first inning. As the 3-1 is belted in the air to right center field. Moving back is Davis. It's off the wall. Mooney is given the wave. No, he gets the late stop sign by Brett Becker, and they're at second and third with one out. Wise move by Becker to throw up the stop sign. And here comes Andrew Pinckney, and that's one of those where you're thankful that Mooney was held at third because that was a fantastic relay by the Gatemen defense.
Absolutely. Great relay there. I mean, it was right on the money. Definitely would have been thrown out there if he decided to come home. So good call by Coach Becker down there. But good opportunity here for Andrew Pinckney, who's been hot as of late.
Well, no one hot in that Wareham bullpen just yet as Burks talks to Sokol. But, Tommy, Andrew Pinckney is looking to get his name called in the next 3 days. Talked about with Trey Redfield today is his last game for now. But what's it been like seeing Pink? He's really developed into a fine summer ball player. He was absolute stud with Alabama, and he could do some big things right here with second and third and one out.
For sure, yeah. It took him a little while to get going, but as of late, he's been great. I was talking to the coaches. I remember Coach Eiley and Coach Trundy saying he's so close, and then finally we saw him break out and, hit a couple of home runs in a game. I think it was actually 4th of July against Katuitt.
Yeah, had 2 home runs.
And he's just been outstanding. I mean, defensively, I think about that throw in Orleans.
Here's a drive into left center field towards the gap. That'll split it. Mooney into score. Here comes Stovall. And he's in to score standing up. It's a 2-run double for Andrew Pinckney. It's 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Back-to-back doubles, Tommy.
Hey, we'll take that. I mean, definitely a great way to manufacture runs there. I think we've seen the team getting much better at that as the season's gone on. You know, a single by Mooney and then a double by Stovall, get a couple into scoring position. Then obviously Andrew Pinckney bringing them home. So great job there by the Dores.
Well, Tommy, the Falmouth Commodores love the work you do. I feel like when you talked about the easy interview with Jeff Trundy, you also got to give credit to Mike Landry. You said Mike Landry's a good interview. You said all these guys are fantastic to talk to on the coaching staff.
They are. All the coaches are really great. Coach Landry, he'll definitely give you some good insight into the pitching staff for sure. And they're all really outstanding. I mean, Coach Eiley is going to be a head coach.
That's right.
The name of the college is slipping my mind, but I think they're all really great coaches and definitely good interviews for sure.
Well, Ryan Eiley, his last summer with the Dores due to that head coaching promotion. I talked to him about that on our Fenway Park day and told him congratulations, and it meant the world because that's always a good thing when the Falmouth Commodores coaches, not just the players, get their promotions. So now here's Jacob Walsh, runner in scoring position. That's Andrew Pinckney over there at second with a 2-run double. Walsh singled back in the 2nd inning to lead things off. First pitch he sees, one hops the plate. He does that Soto shuffle a little bit after he sees a ball low, kind of walks out towards the top of the batter's box. This kid's been fun to watch this summer.
Oh, he's been great. He's another guy that took him a little while to get going, but he's been outstanding, coming through some big hits and definitely some power for sure.
On a 1-0 pitch, Walsh looks at ball 2 outside. Walsh, that single came on 4 pitches. But, Tommy, walk me through what the experience was like covering Braden Taylor. You're going to see a full experience with him as Walsh looks at strike 1. But last year, an absolutely fantastic player for the Dores. This year on Team USA, had a good couple of weeks with the Dores, and next year he's hoping to get his name called up in the 1st round. And you were here for a pretty big journey of his summer ball college career as that pitch misses outside.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
obviously, I called it a strike. There you go.
How about that? 2-2 count. But, yeah, he's been outstanding. I mean, you know what impresses me about him the most is how consistent he is. I feel like, say you're a fan, you go to one game, you might not necessarily think that he's a guy that's going to go in the 1st round because obviously, you know, he's a great player, but, you know, not the flashiest player, I would say, but then when you see him day in and day out and how consistent he is, just coming up with big hit after big hit, and how good he is defensively, I've really been impressed by him, and, yeah, looking forward to seeing what he does for sure.
Well, Walsh goes down swinging as Josiah Cromwick steps into the batter's box, and there was a brawl between Team USA. I can't remember the team they played in the tournament, but Braden Taylor was the batter. It was, I believe it was Caraco, but Braden Taylor, I saw that replay on Twitter, and Braden Taylor, they showed his little, I guess you could say, this graphic display as we have Josiah Cromwick's right here. He was in the batter's box, and he saw that unfold, and it was absolutely crazy.
See, I didn't see that. When was that, like the past couple days?
That was, I believe, 2 days ago, as Josiah Cromwick gets drilled by a pitch, and home plate umpire Eric Carmona walking down with Cromwick about 30% of the way. Curacao, that was the name of the country. I was trying to name it off the top of my head, didn't really work out for me, but yeah, Braden, I'll have to show you that video. It was absolutely crazy, but he's getting a lot of exposure as Drew Brutcher steps into the batter's box.
Yeah, I think that's such a great opportunity, and I think it's 4 Commodores that are out there right now. I think that's great, you know, to represent the country, and definitely a lot of great exposure as well.
So now here's Brutcher with 2 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, where the Falmouth Commodores have a 2-0 lead over the Gatemen on a 2-run double gap shot by Andrew Pinckney, as Drew Brutcher looks at a breaking ball for strike 1. Now, Tommy, what do you think the Dores need to do to finish off strong. Game 31 right now. There's 44 games in the season. All-Star game coming up. The Dores' biggest contest of the year is tonight. Second time we said that against the Gatemen.
Yeah, I would just say consistency is the big thing. Pitching's been outstanding, really. I mean, most of the season. So obviously keep that going. And, you know, the bats are starting to catch up. We've been seeing it throughout the year. They've been getting much better. So definitely, you know, getting timely hits and hitting with runners in scoring position. I think that's a big way to improve. And, you know, they're trending in the right direction for sure.
1-1 is shot in the air to shallow left field. That's down for a base hit. Pinckney coming to the plate. The throw is not in time. RBI single for Drew Brutcher. It's 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning.
And Brutcher's been coming up with a lot of big hits as well as of late. So definitely good to get him going. And 3-0 Dores here in the third.
Well, that's going to bring up Corey Collins. And I see Harvey Shapiro coming up these steps. And we'll see if he makes a pitching change with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. And indeed he will. The Dores take a 3-0 lead. Tommy Mumma, our beat writer, you can check out all of his articles on the Falmouth Commodores website, and they get updated on the Falmouth Commodores Twitter. They have been these past couple of days as well, as Sokol will head to the dugout, but you can check all of Tommy's fantastic workout, and if you're lucky enough to get a tour of the press box, you can see his Boston Globe article framed up against the wall. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was great being on with you.
We're going to take a quick little break as we have a pitching change. We'll be right back.
Logan Soforenko here at Fenway Park with Andrew Pinckney, Alabama outfielder. Andrew, you just finished I.O. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. It was a pretty rushed warm-up, but, you know, I got my 4 throws in, and a few of them went haywire, but, you know, I got the job done, I think. So
It feels like with these things, they usually go by really fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was hitting them pretty quick, and me and Brutch were just gassed out there just trying to get the ball to the fielder. So, I mean, who knows, man? I'm just trying to make a good appearance for us.
You're here at Fenway Park, America's #1 ballpark. How does it feel being in right here, the oldest stadium ever?
Yeah, this is kind of nuts. You know, like, I grew up, like, playing MLB The Show, like, you know, playing with Dustin Pedroia on the show and trying to hit it over the monster. So, I mean, it's just kind of weird to, like, you know, see the green monster, see the Sitco sign out there. So, I mean, it's a really cool moment for us.
Absolutely. And now you got BP coming up. Are you going to try and hit one out?
Yeah, you know, when I usually try to hit home runs, it doesn't really work out for me. So I'm just going to try and, like, hit line drives and hopefully miss a few under the ball and see where the ball goes.
Welcome back to Guv Fuller Field, along with Carter Bainbridge and Trey Redfield and Tommy Mumma, who is such a pleasure to talk to. Hope you guys enjoyed our insight from our beat reporter. And Trey Redfield, who's back joining us here in the booth. Logan Soforenko with you. And Trey, we're going to see a new arm as Jack Sokol's day is done. 2 2/3 of work, 5 hits. The run category is still up in the air because there's 2 runners on that both belong to him. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batsman. He yields way to Cameron Weston.
And Cameron Weston's the best reliever that the Gatemen have this season. He has a 0.52 ERA, making his 7th appearance right now. And he's had 17 innings pitched this season, so a really good number up there as well. Posting 18 strikeouts, walking just 4, Logan. There were a couple of walks delivered to the Commodores with Jack Sokol, the starting pitcher for Wareham. But now I'm expecting the walks to be brought down a little bit more. It's up to Falmouth to keep attacking these right-handed pitchers. We've talked about how great this defense is, but at the same time, coming into today, the ERA for Wareham was at a 4.43. That is the worst on Cape Cod this season. It's so important for the Commodores to just keep this thing going. Make the spot even bigger. Hell, I mean, heck, why not put a 0 in the spot in the third, because there's no room for 2 digits on the scoreboard. Just got to keep it going.
Well, the Wareham Gatemen pitching staff has a 5.14 ERA against the Commodores coming into today. One of the highest ERA single team marks on Cape Cod. As Corey Collins steps into the batter's box with 2 outs and 2 on in a now 3-0 ball game. Collins walked on a fine at bat back in the second. And he will look at ball one inside. Well, this kid's been absolutely fantastic for the Gatemen. You mentioned the sub-1 ERA, 4-0, a .52 ERA, 17 innings, 18 strikeouts, 10 hits. He's walked 4. He's got 2 saves. You said Mr. Reliable. They need him here if the Gatemen want to come away victorious for 4th place as of today. 1-0 misses inside, 2-0.
Some weird movement on that pitch. And it's his go-to. What is it? Looks like a cut fastball.
It does look like a cut fastball.
Cut fastball.
Haven't seen too many of those on Cape Cod.
Like a Halliday cutter.
Not as wonky as that Kenley Jansen cutter, though.
True,
I think just moves up.
Yeah, but Roy Halladay's cutter was
absolutely
the best I've ever seen.
Well, there it is again. It's a 3-0 count now on Corey Collins. As Nicholas could see the bases loaded again. Should Collins reach here? Mentioned how Collins has been having a couple of multi-walk games. Got a 3-0 count on 3 pitches right here. Cromwell gets second, Brutcher at first. And it is indeed a 4-pitch walk to Corey Collins. So Corey Collins a solid 0 for 0 through 3 innings.
Yeah, when it's 2 walks on the board, that'll play. But I mentioned the walks. It's really weird for Weston to walk the first guy he sees. That's now his 5th walk of the season in just what did I say, 17 innings pitched?
Yes, that is now number 5 for Weston.
Yeah. So now, you said it. Nicholas comes up with the bases loaded for the 2nd time today. He just hopes not to ground out again. Last time, it was a double play.
3-6-1 ground out. As the first pitch he sees is in there for strike 1. Nicholas, coming from Oklahoma, made a deep, deep run all the way to the CWS final in which they were swept by Ole Miss as the Rebels came away victorious. 0-1 is in there for strike 2, 0-2. This inning has taken so long. Juaron Watts Brown is actually warming up again in the Falmouth Commodores bullpen with bullpen catcher Willie Baker.
And we saw it with who was it was Eric Yost for YD, the George Mason guy in the doubleheader. What was his name?
We had Jared Lyons and Connor Markle.
Jared Lyons. Yeah, he was warming up because the inning took so long.
0-2. Slide step delivery misses outside, 1-2. That was a long inning, and that was a effort where you come away thinking, thankfully it was just 3 runs in that inning.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot more. All that damage came with 2 outs, and the inning felt like it would never end, but the Dores looking to give that kind of inning to Wareham right now. On a 1-2 pitch, Nicholas goes down swinging with the bases loaded. We go to the top of the 4th inning. 3-0 the score. Falmouth on top.
Hey, Commodore fans, I'm here with Alabama left-handed pitcher Grayson Hitt. Grayson, you're here at Fenway Park. What's it like being at America's #1 ballpark?
This place is amazing, honestly. I came here a week ago and watched the Red Sox play the Tampa Bay Rays, and I got to sit behind the plate. This is my 2nd time I've ever been here, and it's pretty awesome, I'm not going to lie.
It's kind of a starstruck moment, but we've been seeing a lot of the guys on IO. We're going to see the BP guys in a little bit, but walk me through what the pitchers have been doing today.
So first we went through this stretching and then like mobility testing where we got like our hips and our upper bodies loose, and then they kind of took us through some stretching, and then they brought Cressy here down from Florida, and he took us through some stretches and like taught us how to get mobile a little bit better. So yeah,
mobility a big thing, especially as a pitcher. Now walk me through your favorite memory at Fenway watching as a baseball fan. It could be with you in attendance, or it could be with you on the couch watching on TV.
I think I watched that Big Poppy walk-off. I don't know which game it was, but it was definitely in the World Series, and that was pretty sick to watch. I can't remember which one it was, but that was an amazing memory that I have.
A lot of great moments on this field. I got one more question for you. There's a street behind the Green Monster back there. Do you know the name of it?
No, I don't know the name of it, but people have been peppering it already in BP today.
Shout out to Max Anderson of the Wareham Gatemen. It is Lansdowne Street.
No way.
Lansdowne Street. There you go. Fenway history. Well, Grayson, thank you for your time. Door's still working out. We'll see you soon.
Top of the 4th inning here at Guv Fuller Field. I said shout out to Max Anderson. Had a monster day at Fenway Park, and he leads this inning off. Where Juaron Watts Brown, after a lengthy bottom of the third inning. Comes back onto the mound. Maybe we should kick you off and put Tommy Mumma back on, or whoever's doing play-by-play, put Tommy Mumma on. The Dores put up 3 runs.
I'm a great guy.
You are, but when you have Tommy Mumma on opening the Dores have a good game as well as that pitch misses outside, 1-0.
All right, that's a good point. I'll give you that.
And you mentioned it, too. You mentioned, 3-0, 4-0. Got 1 loss with Tommy on the opening the door pregame show, but
yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
2-0
the count now on Max Anderson. Mentioned the fine day at Fenway Park. Also came into the last matchup with the Dores at Guv Fuller Field with a 13-game hitting streak. The Dores snapped that one. On a 2-0 pitch, Anderson gets this one into left field, and Collins makes the catch, charging in. 1 gone here in the top of the 4th.
It was that point where Collins is trying to figure out, do I dive for it? Do I stay up? Do I dive? Do I stay up? It was getting close to that point where he had to fall a little bit to make the grab, but Collins getting a great read on the ball out there. Not really do you see that with beginning outfielders, and I could be completely wrong when I say this. I got to figure out when Collins started getting into the outfield, and if it's this year, then that's a great read from an outfield rook.
And he's been taking some fantastic routes out there. First pitch to Ryan Campos. Misses upstairs. Well, we talked to Anthony McKenzie about him being in the outfield. He hadn't played the outfield since he was in Little League. Was it when he was 6?
7 or 8, I think.
It was
one of those years where it's their 4 outfielders.
1-0 is in the air to shallow left field, and that drops for a base hit. The first base hit for the Wareham Gatemen off of Juaron Watts Brown. And that's going to bring up Hogan Windish. Talked about the Falmouth Commodore Punisher, and that is Windish. But Hogan struck out on 3 pitches looking in the first inning. And that ended the frame. Watts Brown wants a double play ball for himself as Sokol got one. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Windish. Sokol's line is final, 2 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks, and he hit a batter. That was Josiah Cromwick. 0-1, 1-1. Windish, who is hoping to get his name called tomorrow or signed somewhere. Talked about Wareham losing a lot of offensive weapons. He is one of them. On a 1-1 pitch, Windish takes ball 2 inside. No advancement by Ryan Campos as the ball trickles away from Josiah Cromwick. But every time I turn on the social media from Wareham, Hogan Windish usually does something pretty good. We've seen him do some stuff to Falmouth, but Mr. Reliable for the Wareham Gatemen, hitting .278, 19 runs driven in. He's also struck out now 28 times. 2-1, catches some strike zone. Fantastic slider there from Watts Brown. 2-2 now.
Yeah, Windish, wherever he goes, he finds a way to be really good. You know, he crushed it in high school in Ashe County and has been amazing with UNC Greensboro. Was awesome last year in summer ball in the Coastal Plain League.
He got jammed big time here as Mooney is underneath the infield pop-up, and there are 2 gone. That's going to bring up Kellum Clark. What team do you play for in the Coastal Plains League?
High Point Thomasville High Tops.
High Point Thomasville High Tops.
Yep.
Now that's a name. That's a summer ball name right there.
It is. They, the High Toms have the most CPL championships with 3. They did it 3 times in a row. Tied with a team that's not even in the league anymore in the Edenton Steamers.
Another summer ball name.
Yep.
So now 2 outs on Kellum Clark. Strikeout victim back in the 2nd. First pitch he sees is grounded right back to Watts Brown. Underhand toss over there to Walsh. How about these first 4 innings by Juaron Watts Brown as we go to the bottom of the 4th? 3-0 the score. Falmouth on top.
Go here, field side at Fenway Park with middle infielder and I guess outfielder Anthony McKenzie. Anthony, how you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So you guys just took IO. How you feeling after it?
Felt good. The field was nice. There was no bad hops, so I'll just say that. It was really good.
A little different than playing at high school fields. Now, we're here at Fenway Park, America's oldest ballpark. What's it like being in this historic atmosphere?
Super awesome. We're just going to try to hit poolside jacks over the monster.
So with that being said, you being a switch hitter, you're not going to take any in the left-handed batter's box?
No, I definitely will, but when we go righty, we're definitely trying to hit poolside jimmies today.
Poolside jimmies, and when you're batting lefty, you're going to try and go backside.
Yeah, we're trying to go to the scoreboard. I think that's like a 600-foot bomb, so.
Hey, there you go. Have fun with that. I got one fact for you. Behind the monster, there's a street. Do you know the name of the street?
I do not, no.
It is Lansdowne Street.
Okay.
So there you go, some Fenway Park history for you.
We're trying to hit it to the street. What's it called?
Lansdowne Street.
Lansdowne. We're trying to go to Lansdowne.
There's actually a parking lot on the other side of the street, so if you clear it far enough, Rob Revsnyder the other night, he hit a car there, so you never know.
Absolutely. All right, sounds good.
Heck yeah. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. The Dores are almost ready to go for BP. We'll see you soon.
Well, we welcome you back to Guv Fuller Field, where the Commodores are in front of the Gatemen by a score of 3-0 with Logan Soforenko and Carter Bainbridge. I'm Trey Redfield. So glad you're with us tonight as Cameron Weston is on the mound for his second inning of work. And it starts with Alex Mooney, who led off the previous bottom half, one that was explosive for the Dores, Logan.
That's his third time tonight leading off. It seems that he just leads off all the time whenever it happens, but got a base knock that led off that long inning with 9 batters.
He starts with a sword for strike one.
I hate that term. I hate saying it if I'm not a player. I don't know why. It just doesn't sit right.
Sword is...
no, I know what it, but it's for the players. The players got to say it.
I don't care if you know. I want to make sure my audience knows. There's a ground ball to the left side. That gets through for a base hit. Another leadoff single for Alex Mooney.
That's what a leadoff man's supposed to do. Doesn't matter. I mean, I know he's got the power for the home run ball, the gap shots, the wall balls, but anytime he can lead off an inning where it's either a walk or a base hit, take that.
So the point about the sword, it's where it's kind of a half swing. It comes from the movie The Benchwarmers, where Howie, one of the benchwarmers, one of the reserve benchwarmers, brings up his sword to the plate and swings it around because he's terrified of the sun and getting hit by the baseball. Here's Colby Halter at the plate. He looks at strike one, knee high. Halter has gone down swinging twice today, both of them on 2-2 counts.
Well, Halter's been doing such a great job against Wareham. 364 on the year, 4 for 11, and 3 walks coming into today.
Swings at the 0-1 into left center field. Windish gets under it, moving to his left, and makes the grab for the first out. So Halter putting this one in play, but no dice. And it now brings up Peyton Stovall, who got himself a double in that 3 spot. That came from the bottom of the 3rd inning.
We were talking about the deepest parts of the ballpark. He almost hit a home run to the deepest part of the ballpark. We talk about right center and left center off the top of the wall. But it did its job, and he came around on the 2-run double by Andrew Pinckney.
Stovall is the designated hitter tonight. First pitch comes from Weston. Swinging a high fly ball, left center field. Windish under it yet again and makes the grab for the second out. So 2 gone in this bottom half of the 4th inning. Alex Mooney still hanging out on first base, excuse me.
Well, you don't like 2 pitches, 2 flyouts, but Pinckney, who's been hitting the ball fantastically these past couple of weeks, looks to continue his role here as he has 2 runs driven in today, giving him RBIs 13 and 14 on the year.
Pinckney was the one that got it going. He had a 2-run RBI double that scored Mooney and Stovall. First pitch from Weston. Mooney goes inside, ball 1. Throw down the second is in time. They get him, and Mooney can't believe it. That closes out the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll go to the top of the 5th. 3-0 your score.
Logan Soforenko here, field side at Fenway Park with TCU outfielder Luke Boyers. Luke, how you doing today?
Hey, it's a beautiful day, a beautiful ballpark. This is an awesome experience.
Now, as a baseball fan, you're currently here at Fenway Park. You just took I.O., and it's probably the most iconic baseball park in the world, but how are you feeling after your I.O. performance?
I feel pretty good today. I made the throws I was supposed to, fielded the ball cleanly, so that's all I can ask for.
What's it like doing it here, the home of the Boston Red Sox?
I mean, it's awesome. It's sweet. We walked in, you could still smell the hot dogs from last night's game, the food, the concession stand. It's a really cool experience.
Last night's game was that Red Sox win over the New York Yankees, but never mind that. You got BP coming up, and you're a switch hitter, but you say the left side is your more preferred side, but you got the monster over there. You going to try and hit one out today?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to switch over right-handed and see what I can do, see if I can sneak one over the wall. That's my goal for today.
I talked to a couple guys, and they say they're going with the back-sided approach. You're not going to even try with the left-handed approach there?
I'll see what happens, but I don't know if I got it in me to go backside over that big boy, so we'll see what happens.
That's got some height on it, but there's a little street behind the monster. Do you know the name of it?
I do not know.
It's called Lansdowne Street. We're asking everybody that question, so I'm giving you some Fenway trivia and some Fenway history.
Okay, I'll keep it to myself. I won't let anybody else know.
Well, Luke, thank you so much for your time. Have some.
3-0 your score, the Commodores in front of the Gatemen as we head into the top half of the 5th inning here at Guv Fuller Field. Blake Wright stepping into the right-handed batter's box, taking on Juaron Watts Brown, who's on for his 5th inning of work, and it starts with ball 1 outside.
With how well he's tossed the ball these past couple of games, he deserves to go out for the 5th inning and try and complete it, especially when he gets run support and a lead.
1-0 is popped up right side, fouling out of play. The count is even. Juaron has only given up 1 hit tonight. It was a bloop single that came off the bat of Ryan Campos, the designated hitter out of Arizona State. 1-1 to Wright. Inside, and it almost got Wright on the belt. It's now 2-1 on the Clemson Tiger, who saw significant improvement from 2021 to 2022. His batting average went up by 150 points almost. 2-1's fouled off. Count is even yet again, but this time at 2.
Give some credit to Watts Brown for his control this game. The only walk or hit batsman he had was a leadoff 4-pitch walk to start the game. That's it, though.
The 2-2. Too high, the count is full. Boy, we have seen a bunch of those today, Logan. A lot of 3-2 counts on both sides.
Yeah, both sides.
Bring you that official number here in a second. Payoff pitch. Slider, he got him. Down swinging goes right. There's 1 gone in the 5th. That full count that we just saw from Wright, that was the 5th one of the entire game. So now brings up Carter Graham. Had a breakout sophomore season at Stanford this season, hitting .331 with 13 doubles. He swings and misses at his first pitch for strike 1. Graham went down swinging to close out the top of the 2nd inning. Watts Brown has his sign and deals. Curveball swung on hit into right center field. Brutcher coming in, and he makes the grab, extending a little bit, but not diving. But either way, he grabs this 2nd out.
Well, that 6'6" frame coming in, using those long legs, charging in quickly, making that catch look easy. Seen a couple of quick charges, especially from Corey Collins, and now Drew Brutcher, who hasn't seen too much action out there in right field today. It's only the 2nd flyout he's seen.
So here's Jack Hausinger. This guy does it all. He plays the infield, he plays the outfield. He pitched yesterday in the 7th inning, had just a 1/3 of an inning as he bounces it over to the right side. Walsh picks it up, spins, fires to Watts Brown, and they got him! What a play by Watts Brown! Juaron, through 5 innings of work, keeps it a 1-hit shutout so far. 3-0 your score. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th.
What are you most looking forward to this season?
I'm just looking forward to, I mean, it's obvious, but just the games, you know, seeing some great baseball, some great talent, and working with all these interns and really just learning, you know?
I'm just excited to get to know everyone, do some fun social media stuff, make a lot of TikToks, and watch some baseball.
I'm looking forward to spending time with all of the other great interns, looking forward to watching good baseball, spending time around the field, and being in Falmouth again.
It was just such a great experience last year. I mean, there's nothing better. I mean, it's the best players in the country, and the opportunity to cover them is awesome.
Welcome back to Guv Fuller Field as we take a look at the CCBL standings. If you're just joining us, this game is huge because you see on your screen there is a tie for 4th place in the Western Division between the two teams we have today, the Commodores and the Gatemen, at 26 points. So whoever wins today will put themselves in front in playoff position. Remember, the top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs, with the 5th place team on both sides being left out. As you can see on your screen, Falmouth and Wareham with 26 points. Last time I was up here, at least, I've been on the field a lot recently, Logan, but Bourne has really increased itself up in the standings, starting to put up a fight against Hyannis and Katuitt. And you look in the Eastern Division, that's starting to become a one-person race. It's just Yarmouth Dennis taking it all the way going into August.
Well, YD's lost a couple of people, but they've been actually staying pretty consistent. Have the best ballpark as far as the long ball out there at YD. But you talked about the Bourne Braves. They talked about it in their Tomahawk Talk, which is their post-game show. They said that last night was a missed opportunity for them because both Hyannis lost. Katuitt won, but they could have gained some ground on Katuitt as well. So Dores currently trailing by 6 points to the Bourne Braves. You got to deal with Wareham right now, though.
It's pretty simple. You win, you're back in playoff position if you're Falmouth. Here's Andrew Pinckney, who's up for the 3rd time tonight, and he starts ahead 1-0. Pinckney was at the plate in the previous bottom half, but Alex Mooney got caught stealing on what we thought was a questionable call from Carlos Dolmo. We thought that left hand of Mooney got in. As Pinckney swords that one, it's now 1-1.
Juaron Watts Brown down by that bullpen, getting actually a nice reception from the fans out there. His day is done, giving some hugs to the bullpen catchers. Looks like Luke Malone warming up in that pen.
Watts Brown, going through 5 innings, is eligible for a decision. As the 1-1 drops in, it's now 1-2 on the Alabama center fielder, who actually got better as the season went along. He was mainly the center fielder for the Tide, played a little bit of right field as well, led the team in RBIs, doubles, and had an OPS that was sky high at .959 this season. 1-2 is cut on and missed, but out of the glove of Burks as he completes the strikeout, but it was a close one. Pinckney getting beat by a step. So 1 gone in this bottom half of the 5th inning. The Dores up 3, and Jacob Walsh steps up to the plate. Cameron Weston is on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He's really found a way to control his game, Logan, since he has stepped in for Jack Sokol.
He came in with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Walked the man on 4 pitches, but then got Jackson Nicholas with the bases loaded.
First pitch to Walsh, strike 1.
He's been settled down ever since then. Technically a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th with Mooney getting thrown out.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Weston this season has a 0.52 ERA as he gets Walsh to go after the 0-1. It's now 0-2 on Walsh, who comes from Las Vegas. But back on Weston, came into today with 17 innings pitched, making his 7th appearance tonight. The 0-2 is fouled to the left side. We'll do it again. Weston comes out of Michigan, where he made 20 appearances, including 11 starts for the Wolverines in 2022, tossing 81 and 2/3 innings with 92 Ks and 38 walks. 0-2 misses low and outside. It's now 1-2.
You hear the vocalization of home plate umpire Eric Carmona screaming low, low, low. Love an umpire that explains the strike zone.
Helping out the players. One of the jobs as the home plate umpire, right? 1-2 pitch. Outside again, 2-2. Walsh today is 1 for 2 with a single. It was a leadoff single that came in the 2nd. It was the first of 3 straight bottom halves where the Dores put on a base runner. 2-2 pitch. Bouncer on the right side. Hausinger picks it up. Flips to the first in time for the 2nd out. So now brings up Josiah Cromwick. Last time up, got hit by a pitch, so maybe got some ice in the dugout and ready to go for his 3rd plate appearance.
Well, he was stranded, but he was one of those many batters that Wareham saw in that 3rd inning. The Gatemen saw the entirety of the Falmouth lineup.
First pitch to Josiah. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
That slider's been working for him, especially on right-handed hitters. He got in your words, Andrew Pinckney just soared a couple of times.
Cromwell coming into tonight, sitting 211 on the season. Swing and a miss at the 0-1. It's now 0-2. Last year, Cromwell played for the Burlington Sock Puppets. So to your terms, a summer league name, 100% that. In the Appalachian League in 2021. Another bouncer on the right side. Hausinger charging, picking it up, the flip to first, in time to close out the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-0 still your score. We go to the top of the 6th with the Dores in front.
Welcome back to Guv Fuller Field as we head on to the top of the 6th inning. Longtime Falmouth fans may be seeing an old face in a new place today. Wareham manager Harvey Shapiro has been in and around the Cape League since the 1980s, including a stint as Falmouth manager from 1994 to 98. During Shapiro's time here, he won Manager of the Year in 1996 and was also skipper when future Major League All-Star and World Series champion Darren Erstad made his way through Falmouth. Funnily enough, Shapiro was skipper for 3 playoff series during his time with the Dores, and he played the Wareham Gatemen twice. Nearly 30 years later, he's now with the Gatemen, trying to put a dent in the Dores' playoff hopes this season. Guys?
Well, Carter, thanks so much. We're now into the top of the 6th inning, where Falmouth leads Wareham by a score of 3-0. Juaron Watts Brown, night is done, and man, it was a good one. He had 5 innings pitched, giving up just 1 hit. No earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And it's a new Commodore on the block. He's making his debut. His name is Evan Harmon, right-handed pitcher out of Central Arizona College, where he had 12 games this season, going 1-0 with a 5.74 ERA, pitching in 15 2/3 innings, giving up 17 hits, along with 16 strikeouts and walking just 9. And Logan, you know this guy a little bit as well, don't you?
Yeah, the JUCO national champion came from my old territory, the Conejo Oaks of the California Collegiate Baseball League out in the good old state of California. Didn't get to cover him much last year. He mainly was used as a bullpen guy with the Oaks this summer. Conejo Oaks, the hottest team in the California Collegiate League this summer. The phrase they say, the Oaks are hot, but I was told by Conejo Oaks broadcaster Austin Gregory to look out for this kid. He's got some filthy stuff. As you mentioned, his numbers at Central Arizona. Talk about the JUCO product, but we can forgive him for being a Yankee fan, but a lot of those here on Cape Cod.
Yeah, speaking of those Yankee fans, they were upset last night because the Red Sox took down the Yanks at Yankee Stadium to start off the first of a 3-game set. It's Devin Burks at the plate, one of the newest Wareham Gatemen on this team. He's 0 for 1 today, and he's hitting 9th. Coming out of Kentucky. First pitch from Harmon. That doesn't even get the glove of Cromwell. It's 1-0. First pitch kind of looking like Jimmy Morris. If you've seen the rookie, his first pitch with the Orlando Rays, he sails it over his catcher, playing double-A ball. 1-0. Too high again. 2-0.
Not enough snap. You always talk about the fastballs, and specifically with breaking balls, getting that late movement, especially on a 12-6. But on a fastball, that's how you snap and you dance away from the ability to locate a fastball. Because if you try and place it, you're not going to throw a strike.
That one misses high, but it gets the glove of Cromwell this time. It's now 3-0. Burks yesterday went 0 for 3 against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in what was a grueling defeat for Wareham, losing 15-1. 3-0 misses inside, ball 4. So 2 pitchers today for the Commodores. Both Watts Brown and Harmon started with 4-ball walks. So we now go into the top of the order with the guy who had the other 4-pitch walk in Chase Davis. He's 0 for 1 today with a foul fly to Colby Halter over at third base to close out the top of the 3rd. Davis, a rising sophomore out of Arizona, started 62 of 63 games this season, improving his batting average by 56 points. His first pitch misses high and outside for ball 1. Check that. Davis is actually a rising junior. So his sophomore year, he improved his BA by 56 points from his freshman season, going up to a 289 average. One 0 from Harmon. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Evan Harmon is on the board. He's 2 strikes away from grabbing his first strikeout now. Burks on first as Harmon deals. Line drive, Mooney can't get it. A jumping effort from Alex, but it skips his glove. Going into center field, and Davis has his first base hit tonight.
Well, now you're starting to get into the hot spot of the Wareham Gatemen lineup. You talked about it in opening the door with Max Anderson and Hogan Windish, but they're not hitting back-to-back today. Got Anderson, Campos, and Windish all with nobody out, so now you really need that ground ball double play if you're the Falmouth Commodores.
Now, this part of the lineup is scary. Normally, you see Hogan Windish in the 2 spot, where he has been all season when the Gatemen play the Commodores, but right now it's Max Anderson at the plate. Harmon finds himself in a jam a little bit. 2 on with no one gone, and Falmouth only leading by 3. So Anderson serving as the tying run right now. Ball 1. Anderson has flown out to left field twice today. So he's 0 for 2 on the evening. He's playing third base tonight. 1-0 pitch. Too low. Ball 2.
Josh Stewart in the Falmouth bullpen getting loose as Mike Landry chats with the new guy, Evan Harmon.
8 pitches so far from Harmon, just one of them strikes. It's a swing and a miss from Davis, who's now on first base. Just trying to calm the new kid on the block down a little bit.
We've seen that velocity. His fastball goes up to 96, but hasn't really been able to locate the fastball through the first couple of pitches.
So the conference has concluded. Eric Carmona coming up saying, hey, let's play ball, boys, as it officially disperses. Anderson to tying run. Trying to get on the board for the first time tonight. He's had a couple of loud outs to left field, but no dice. Duo pitch. In the center field. Pinckney going back. Going near the wall. Makes the grab. Tagging up from second is Burks, and he gets there safely. So Anderson with another loud flyout, this time to Andrew Pinckney in center field. But he does his job somewhat, advancing Burks over to third base. There are now runners at the corners with one gone in the top of the 6th.
Well, with the way the first couple batters saw Evan Harmon, an out is an out right now. Obviously just a runner 90 feet away. But now a ground ball double play could get out of the inning. I sound like a broken record saying it, but we saw the Wareham Gatemen get out of a jam back in the 2nd inning on a 3-6-1 double play.
Here's Ryan Campos, who has split time behind the plate and as a designated hitter for the Gatemen. He's the DH tonight. First pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Campos has himself a single tonight. Came in his last at-bat on a 1-0 count, but he went down swinging in his first plate appearance. That came in the top of the 1st inning. So it's Burks on third, Davis on first. Harmon deals. Too high and outside, ball 2. Are you seeing anything different from Harmon in his approach that's leading him to throw a little bit more balls than usual?
Well, he threw a lot of high fastballs, so we'll see if he's able to actually use it to his advantage. Got a lot of batters to chase out in California. See what he's got here.
2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. As Logan mentioned, Josh Stewart is warming up in the Falmouth bullpen. The Commodores trying to get back into 4th place against the Gatemen. These are the 2 teams that are tied for 4th right now in the Western Division. There's strike 1. So 3-1 now on Campos. Still a hitter's count. Who comes out of Arizona State. He made an immediate impact for the Sun Devils as a true freshman, hitting for a team-high .357 batting average.
That's the kind of fastball that he has. The ability to go inside on lefty hitters.
Let's see if he does it here. Too high and outside, ball 4. The bases are loaded with 1 out. And Hogan Windish comes up to the plate, serving as the go-ahead run. Yeah, oh no. This might be worst case scenario. But Harmon's evening is done, and done very quickly. Just 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 1 hit. The run category is going to be left open for now because he is responsible for all 3 runners. He walked 2 and struck out 9. Excuse me. Josh Stewart coming in. We'll tell you more about him when we come back. 3-0 your score.
Side at Fenway Park with Duke shortstop Alex Mooney. Alex, you just finished up IO and BP. How are you feeling after your performance?
Good. It was a pretty cool experience just to be on Fenway, take IO, take some BP, hit some in the ballpark. So, yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
Walk me through, as not just a baseball fan, but a baseball player of your caliber. You're here at Fenway Park. What's it mean like for you personally?
I think it's a super cool experience. Obviously, Fenway is one of the older parks, classic. It's America's most beloved ballpark, as you see there. So just be able to come here and take around a BP and take some IO. It's been a really cool experience.
Now, walk me through what it was like taking some BP. You were almost hitting one into the monster. You got them right by that MGM reward sign. So you were laughing about it. I saw Ryan Eiley throwing you some BP. He was laughing about it too. What was it like in the box?
Yeah, I was just trying to hit the ball left center, hit the ball hard, and I was either getting it high enough but not hard enough, or hard enough but not high enough with that monster. So, like I said, it's a cool experience. But I thought I took a pretty good round. So,
right on. Well, Alex, I got one last question for you. There's a street located behind the Green Monster. Do you know the name of it?
I feel bad not knowing this. I do not know the name.
It's okay.
So the Commodores lead 3-0 right now, but they're in some trouble. Bases loaded with Hogan Windish coming up to the plate, and there's a new pitcher for Falmouth. His name is Josh Stewart. Has an ERA of just 1.00, making his 6th appearance with 9 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, but has struck out 12 and walking just 2. Logan, last time we saw him, not too long ago.
He had that streak of not allowing an earned run snapped. First run he had given up, it was scored off of Levi Wells off of a Mike Sirota single just the other night at McKeon Park against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. But he's been Mr. Reliable in his first 5 outings, so he's got to attack Hogan Windish. He can't be afraid because walks, as we see, been costly with the bases loaded.
That's the SoCon Player of the Year, Windish, who hit over 350 this season with the UNCG Spartans. First pitch from Stewart, grounder on the left side. Halter to second. No, it gets away. Nicholas couldn't corral it as the throw is a little offline. 2 runs come in the score. Now there are runners at the corners, but Wareham gets lucky. The lead cut down to 1, and there's still 1 out with runners at the corners.
Well, the thing that happened when he gathered that ball, had about a split second, maybe thinking he could either go home or go to third, but he elected to go to second after that, and the Falmouth Commodore defense pulling a Bourne Braves first inning last night right here.
Yeah, the Bourne Braves had 2 errors in that bottom half of the first inning. Falmouth scored 3 in that bottom half. As Kellum Clark sends one to the left side. Halter going as far as he can over, and it's out of play. So 0-1 on Clark, who is 0 for 2 tonight. But that could have ended the inning right there, Logan. That could have ended it. Could be talking about, you know, how the Dores can get into it offensively with some momentum. Right now, Falmouth doesn't have any of that after that E5 as the 0-1 is fouled back. And that's just a tough break with Stewart, too. You know, what's it like? You pitched a little bit in high school. What's it like when you have these guys, you know, your infield give up an error and you have to do even more work on your own end?
Attack the next batter. You can't show emotion. You can't show any sort of body language here. Just got to attack. In this case, Kellum Clark.
The 0-2. Oh, it hits him. Not sure where exactly that got him, but Clark down in some pain.
Oh, I hope that's not the hand.
Me neither. Yeah, I hope so as well. I hope it's not his hand. Hopefully Clark is all right. The last thing you want to see is someone deal with an injury away from school. You know, Clark comes from Mississippi State. He played in all but 1 game this season for the defending champs at the time. Find out what exactly Harvey Shapiro wants to go with here. But the bases are loaded again.
When I say I hope it's not a hand injury, it looks like that's what they're checking out, but that's because you talk about a lot of things that hurt the most, but hand injuries, those things sideline you for a little bit. But as he's taking off his batter's glove and all of his gear, it looks like.
But at the same time, you don't see anyone over there in that Wareham dugout grabbing a helmet and coming out to run.
Now he's ready to stay on at first base. Good to see him over there.
Indeed. So Clark going to stay at first base. Like I said, the bases are loaded. We groaned when Hogan Windish came up, but we're going to groan again because Blake Wright is now at the plate, a Commodore killer. Sitting over 400 against Falmouth this season. Josh Stewart has an opportunity to close things out, though. First pitch. Bouncer up the middle. Nicholas has it. Taps on second. Throw to first. He got him! A 4-3 double play to close out the top of the 6th. Josh Stewart getting out of the jam. We go to the bottom half with Falmouth still ahead, but just by 1.
The House of Falmouth Commodore, be sure to sign up to become a host family today. Hosting a Cape League player can be very rewarding. Players connect and bond with the families, often forming lifelong relationships. Please remember that every Commodores player is bound and governed by NCAA rules and regulations. In order to maintain their collegiate athletic ability, host families receive a weekly allowance from the Falmouth Commodores to help cover player expenses. Host families are not required to provide transportation to players. The Falmouth Commodores are very grateful to the wonderful families that host our players each and every year. If you are interested in hosting a Falmouth Commodores player for the summer, contact our housing coordinator, Lisa Smuda, at lisatz143@comcast.net. For more information, visit our website at falmouthcommodores.com. Thank you for supporting our players, and roll Dores.
Well, we welcome you back to Guv Fuller Field, where 3-2 is your score. The Commodores in front of the Gatemen. As it's now Alan Roden in right field, stepping in for Kellum Clark, who just got hit by a pitch on that hand. So Roden, the right fielder out of Creighton, will step in. Cameron Weston is on for his third inning of work. So Weston trying to keep this a 3-2 ball game, trying to help out his offense a little bit, keep it a 1-run deficit. But Logan, what do the Dores need to do against Weston to balloon the lead again?
Well, I talked about, for the pitcher's sake, Josh Stewart just to attack the next batter. You got to treat it like it is now a 1-run game. You got to take back to last night. You stranded 10 runners on base. You got to get things going and not strand base runners today. They've already stranded 6 base runners, the Falmouth offense. So get something going again. Go back to the third inning ways.
All 6 of those runners stranded came in the first 3 bottom halves. First pitch to Drew Brutcher to the left side and down for a base hit. Brutcher now 2 for 2 with a walk today. The last time he was up was an RBI single. I'll tell you what, Logan, you said it. Ever since he brought the pants back down to his ankles, he started to pop off a little bit.
Well, baseball is a game of superstition, and sometimes that's all it takes. And he now has a run-scoring hit in 4 consecutive contests now.
That'll play. It's now Corey Collins at the plate. He's walked twice today, so he doesn't even have an official at-bat to his name yet. He looks at ball 1 a little bit low, a little bit outside as well, and Collins did not go around either. So 1-0 the count on the Georgia Bulldog, who is in left field tonight, but did none of that in Athens this season. Mainly their designated hitter, a little bit of catching in there as well, but Collins has not gone behind the plate this summer. To second, there's one, and there's the other. A 4-6-3 double play, and there's 2 gone in the 6th.
Well, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
It's been a tough night for Jackson Nicholas, if you want to stay on the terms of tough. He's come up with the bases loaded twice tonight. The first time around, he grounded into a 3-6-1 double play. The second time around, he went down swinging. That came in the 2nd and 3rd inning, respectively. First pitch to Nicholas, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Well, Cameron Weston has absolutely been feeling it out of the bullpen. Entered the game back in the 3rd. He has retired now 8 batters in a row away from that single, of course.
Now 0-2 on Nicholas.
On the scorecard, I should say.
Weston kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 strikes, 3 pitches. Nicholas goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight. We go to the top of the 7th with the Dores still up 1.
Logan Soforenko here at Fenway Park with Oregon first baseman Jacob Walsh. Jacob, you just finished IO. How you feeling after your performance?
Feeling pretty good. It was a lot of fun.
You talked to me about the importance of your footwork and becoming the best defensive first baseman you could possibly be at Oregon. What was that like on today?
It just made everything a lot easier. I just can trust my work and know that, I'll be fine. Just go have a good time.
Now, you talked about yesterday with the approach at the green monster trying to go the other way. You trying to hit one out over the monster?
That's still the goal. We're going backside all day today.
Backside's the motto. All right, I got one question for you before I send you off. Green monster. There's a street behind it. Do you know the name of it?
Oh. I do not.
The answer is Lansdowne Street.
Lansdowne Street.
Remember that baseball fact right there.
Walked in right there.
There you go. Jacob, enjoy the rest of the day. Have some fun. We'll see you for BP.
All right.
Well, the Dores lead by just 1 here in the top of the 7th inning, 3-2 ball game. Take a look at the scores around the league. Bourne Braves trailing the Brewster Whitecaps. Katuitt leading Harwich in the bottom of the 8th at White House Field. The Chatham A's with a 6-2 lead over the Whitey Red Sox. How about that?
Wow.
You never know if that lead is safe.
That too.
Hyannis on top over Orleans, 5-1 at Eldridge Park. And right here at Guv Fuller Field, it's a 1-run ball game along with Carter Bainbridge and Trey, Redfield, and Tommy Mumma. Logan Soforenko with you. Top of the 7th inning, the Wareham Gatemen have Carter Graham Jackson Hausinger and Devin Burks ready to go here in this 7th inning. Carter Graham 0 for 2 on the day. Josh Stewart on for his first full inning of work. Graham looks at ball 1 low. Carter Graham at Stanford hit .331 in 260 at bats. Started in every game he played. Drove in 79. On a 1-0 pitch, Graham takes a little chop at that one, 1-1. Well, the Wareham Gatemen, we mentioned, they've had a lot of success against the Falmouth Commodores. They've hit .288 coming into today. 42 of 186 at bats. 1-1. That's in there for strike 2. Carter Graham struck out on 6 pitches back in the 2nd inning and flew out to Drew Brutcher back in the 5th. Stewart looking for his first strikeout of the day. On a 1-2 pitch, Graham goes down swinging. First strikeout of the day for Josh Stewart. And that'll bring up Jack Hausinger.
And it came in nasty fashion, too. Did you see that way that slider just bend away from, what, Graham? Oh, my goodness.
That's how you attack a right-handed hitter. Now Jack Hausinger, the lefty, will step into the batter's box to face the Texas Longhorn. I guess I should say Aggie now. Ball spoiled foul, 0-1. Falmouth Commodores travel to Lowell Park tomorrow to take on the Catuit Kettleers. Hausinger behind in the count, 0-1. One and 1. Wareham Gatemen have 21 runs driven in against the Falmouth Commodores coming into today. Both runs that scored today was on an E5 back in the 6th inning. On a 1-1 pitch, Hausinger looks at a breaking ball, and it's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, recently it's been a lot of frustrations for Wareham. Yesterday, losing by 14 despite being out-hit by just 4 hits. Tonight, they only have 2. Talk about how things change so quickly.
1-2 is popped up behind home plate and foul out of play. You mentioned the 3 runs on 7 hits and the 2 runs on 2 hits. Watts Brown gave up just 1 of those, and it was a real bad loop shot to left field. Stewart from the windup again. 1-2. Misses upstairs, 2-2, 92 off the gun. Hausinger flew out in the 8th inning back in the flew out to center field, I should say, back in the 3rd inning as Andrew Pinckney made a full extension to rob him of that. Grounded out in the 5th inning and strikes out here in the 7th inning. 2 gone.
You may hear our PA announcer, Dan Fox, in the background. Backdoor. That was a nasty backdoor curveball. I mean, Stewart has the stuff. He pitches. He pitched in the Big 12 for a reason. He's going to pitch in the SEC for a reason. He brings it to the table.
First pitch to Devin Burks misses a little low. That's Josh Stewart's 14th strikeout on the season. On a 1-0 pitch, Burks looks at another breaking ball that misses low. Stewart's feeling that thing. Devin Burks 0 for 1 on the day. A walk back in the 6th and a ground out back in the 3rd. But Burks coming into today hitting 167, just 1 for his first 6. Struck out 4 times and is yet to walk coming into today. Up until that 6th inning is he could have another one right here. 3-0 the count. Waiting on deck is the top of the lineup in Chase Davis. The 3-0 is in there for strike 1. I always love seeing on a 3-0 count or a full count the batter try to
Yeah.
Deke out the home plate umpire. He waited a little bit to see maybe would have gone. Nah, staying in the batter's box. On a 3-1 pitch, Burks grounds this breaking ball to third. Halter takes his time and fires a strike over to Walsh. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-2 the score.
I'm not a gymnast. I think I'd pull something if I did a cartwheel.
Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
I'm going to go with fly, honestly. I think flying would be pretty cool. Be able to be up in the air around everybody, you know, fly with some birds. Be pretty cool stuff, Carson.
Okay, Anders, now do your best.
Sorry about that. God bless America, land that stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Welcome back to Guv Fuller Field as the Falmouth Commodores lead the Wareham Gatemen by a score of 3-2. Cameron Weston on for his 5th inning of work, and he has been absolutely shoving, as they say, out of the bullpen. Not necessarily 5 full innings, but 5 scoreboard innings.
Yeah, it's his 4th full inning of work. I kind of botched that one. I said it was his 3rd inning of work, last inning, LOL. But other than that, Weston has been dealing tonight. I said he's the best pitcher out of the Wareham bullpen for a reason. When you look at stats and you use that as a case in point, you're smart, and it's just true. Weston, coming into tonight, had a 0.52 ERA. That's going down each and every inning he comes in. He's pitched in 17 of them this season. And I mentioned how many innings he tossed this year at Michigan. You're hoping Wareham keeps him for the entire season because this is the best guy they got in the pen.
Misses outside to Alex Mooney. The Dores with 3 runs in the 3rd. The Wareham Gatemen with 2 in the top of the 6th. Sporadic scoring. 1-0 is grounded left side. Anderson over to first, high throw, but shuffling his feet is Graham. Mooney is retired. Now, Mooney's been swinging a hot bat today, now 2 for 4. But Colby Halter 0 for 3 on the day, perhaps the hottest hitter against the Wareham Gatemen.
Yeah, I mean, and he's really shown it with other teams as well. Halter finding a capability to stay hot. His batting average, top 5 on Cape Cod. When the All-Star team is selected tomorrow morning right here in Falmouth, he will probably be a name that is talked about a lot by coaches, executives, trying to figure out who's going to be the Western Division team that goes across the bridge to show off their skills.
Well, Halter came into today hitting .364 against Wareham, 4 for 11, also drew 3 walks. He has yet to reach today. On a 1-0 pitch, Halter spoils this one behind home plate, 1-1. Struck out swinging back in the first inning. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt of Burks in the third inning for strikeout number 2. And flew out to left field back in the fourth. The 1-1. In the air to foul territory towards the light pole and out of play, 1-2. Halter, a .322 hitter coming into today. 5 home runs, 12 RBIs. He's walked 15 times and has struck out 23 times coming into today. On a 1-2 pitch, Halter looks at ball 2 inside. And he sees another pitch. Perhaps a gutsy 2-strike take, but we move on. Stovall on deck. The 2-2. Another pitch spoiled foul. Do it again. Stovall had the double the last time he was up in the third inning, but flew out back in the fourth. Ryan Slater in the Falmouth bullpen. On a 2-2 pitch, Halter looks at ball 3 outside. Haven't seen too many full counts for the Falmouth offense in these past couple of innings.
We've seen a lot in this game.
Payoff. Popped up. Left side, twisting towards the line. Wright makes the catch as he calls off Anderson. 2 gone.
Halter's full count was the 9th we've seen in an at-bat tonight. The 9th.
Saw a few full counts with the Wareham offense up as Peyton Stovall looks to keep this inning rolling. At least extended, I should say. Stovall 1 for 2 on the day as he will look at ball 1 inside. He walked back in the first, doubled off the wall in the third, and flew out to left in the fourth. Came around to score on an Andrew Pinckney double. On a 1-0 pitch, Stovall lifts this ball deep to right center field. Roden giving chase, and it is gone! Peyton Stovall makes this a 4-2 ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Weston left it a little too inside, and that's Stovall's wheelhouse. He just made him pay and then some. We talked a lot about how Weston's able to be so good on the mound, using his stuff and taking advantage throughout the season. Stovall just took advantage of Weston right there. You leave it too much over, you're going to give up a ticket to the Falmouth tunnel.
I got in on it too. I put the hands up.
Oh, you did?
Because why not? That thing was torched. First home run of the season here at Guv Fuller Field for Peyton Stovall. Did have one at Doran Park in his 2022 Commodore season debut. It's now 4-2. As Pinckney looks at strike 1. Pinckney today himself has a couple of runs driven in. 1 for 3. 0-1. That had some nice break on it. Nothing to do now.
It's that cut fastball that we talked about with Weston. That's the pitch that he likes to go to. And he showed it when he first started to come in, and now he's starting to use it a little bit more. That's something that he needs to do. Put it on the outer half, find a way to paint that outer half of the strike zone with that cut fastball that he's bringing to the table.
0-2. That missed outside, according to home plate umpire Eric Carmona.
Yeah.
Well, despite the home run, we've seen some good stuff from Weston, and that's one of those where he could have had another strikeout. That would have been his 4th. But he's got to get Pinckney again. 1-2. Little chopper to the left side. Anderson. High throw, and Andrew Pinckney is safe. So we'll see if that is an E5 on Anderson over there at third. That's the first error that was committed by the Wareham Gatemen.
You don't hear that often. Gatemen now up to 22 errors this season. That's the least on Cape Cod. And Pinckney wasn't going to beat that out. He was going to get beat by a step at best. It was going to be close, but had that throw not sailed high, Pinckney would have grounded out. But you know what? You'll take it any day of the week. I know I just said that. That's the crutch that I always go with. You got me.
0-1 count
Dang
on
it.
Jacob Walsh.
Darn it.
We talked about
Man.
the errors with the Wareham Gatemen, especially against the Falmouth Commodores. They came into today with just 2 errors.
Yeah.
Against the Dores.
Who else?
On an 0-1 pitch, Walsh sends this ball deep to left field. Windish underneath it, and he makes the catch. Well, the Dores get a run back. It's 4-2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. We'll be right back.
Hey Commodores fans, sharpen your baseball skills with some of America's finest players from the best college programs in the country. Clinic attendees will have opportunities to work on hitting, base running, infield and outfield play, as well as pitching and catching. Attendees will also participate in Commodores Chat, where coaches and players discuss topics like sportsmanship, academics, teamwork, and other issues important to being an all-around player. Clinics are offered Tuesday, June 21st through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 3 separate clinics will be offered for ages 5 to 14.
Well, the Falmouth Commodores get a run back off of a solo home run by Peyton Stovall, as Ryan Slater will now enter this game. Josh Stewart's day is done. Went 1 2/3 as Ryan Slater comes in. Saw him pitch the other night, but Slater has been having a fantastic summer. Another Gator on the mound.
Yeah, Slate's been awesome this season. An ERA at 1.88. He's making his 8th appearance. He's pitched in 14 1/3 innings, giving up 14 hits, but striking out 16. Another number that I'm really keen on, Logan, and it's the one I always talk about a lot with walks. He's only walked 2 of them this season. Slater, it's so important for him to keep one side of the ratio up and the other down. Strikeout to walk. You want to keep the Ks up and the BBs down. So if Slater is able to do that in his top half of the 8th inning, who knows? We may see him for 2 innings. Then the Dores will find themselves in front by the end of the game. Seen a couple of 5-out saves.
This isn't a 6-out save situation. Could it be?
This would be a 6-out save.
Could it be?
Yep.
Could they let Slater go on for the 2 innings? We'll see. But
why not?
The Falmouth Commodores will have to face the top of the Wareham Gatemen lineup. And we talked about the top of the Wareham Gatemen lineup, keeping them in check. Just 2 hits off of 10 at-bats. So 200, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, a couple of flyouts, and an error. That is in hitters 1 through 4. And Chase Davis, who is 1 for 2 on the day, will lead things off here in the 8th inning. Fine effort there from Stewart. 1 2/3. Did not give up a hit. No runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. There's strike 1 to Davis. Ryan Slater at Florida, pitching 26 games. Made 3 starts, so mainly a bullpen guy as he has been with the Dores this summer. 1-1 now. Had a 5.34 ERA, finished with a 6-4 record, and he did record some saves out with the Gators. Recorded 6.
Yeah, he was good this season for Florida.
1-2 now.
It's a team that had its own regional, the 13 seed, lost to Oklahoma, and Oklahoma took it all the way to the CWS final. It was 2 teams, Ole Miss and Oklahoma, that didn't even have a national seed.
Line the other way and foul. 1-2 again. That's unfortunate. The biggest break that I get really sad about is the Ivy situation. that
I
happened
hate
in the
it.
2021 season. Everything gets up and running, and Ivies get canceled. 1-2 pitch is belted to right field. Brutcher giving chase, and he makes the catch. Never a doubt, right?
No, there's not. And everyone talks about his 6'6" frame. Literally everyone and their mother does. He is high on draft boards because of that 6'6" frame that he brings to the table. He's got great power. He does a lot of good stuff at the plate. His glove has been shaky as of late. But the one thing I like about Brutcher, and it's really sneaky, it's his speed. Brutcher has the capability of moving so quick over there in right field, a spot that he has been at all season. Speak of the devil.
Goes right to him, and he makes the catch as Max Anderson is retired on 1 pitch.
Didn't really show it much there, but in that last at-bat with Davis, he did. He moved quickly. It's so important to not only see the ball quickly, but get to it fast. Because reading it is half the battle, Logan.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when I played travel ball, I didn't read it that well. So trust me when I say this, it is half the battle. I was never the best at it.
There's a reason why we're up here and these guys are down there.
Exactly.
But something to take note of, Levi Wells, who just recorded a 5-out save the other night, is warming up in the bullpen. Just maybe,
oh, my goodness,
maybe chucking, just throwing around.
You never know.
Strike 1 to Ryan Campos. On deck is Windish. Ryan Campos today 1 for 2, a strikeout, a single, and a walk. That walk was back in the 6th inning. 0-1. That misses low. 1-1. Well, Max Anderson, who flew out to Brutcher, sent the train to the next stop, if you will.
That was good.
Campos.
That was good. I like that one.
On a 1-1 pitch, Campos looks at ball 2 just a little low. Ryan Campos finished his season in the 2022 year with Arizona State. Hit .357 in 171 at bats. Only walked 19 times and only struck out 24 times. The 2-1 has him dancing a little bit. 3-1 now, and he was highly regarded coming out of Arizona. Ranked the number 11 player in the state of Arizona and the number 2 catcher in Arizona by perfect game. And was the number 56 catcher nationally at a high school level. As he has the count full now as he takes a chop at that one. So Ryan Slater trying to work a 1-2-3 inning for the Dores. Falmouth will have Walsh, Cromwick, and Brutcher due up in the bottom of the 8th inning. On a payoff pitch, Campos draws ball 4. It's a 2-out walk as Hogan Windish steps into the batter's box. Well, Hogan Windish has been in check today, 0 for 3, but late parts in the game, it's appropriate to say he does serve as the tying run for the Wareham Gatemen.
And knowing what happened last time, too, where he got the go-ahead RBI double, it's extremely important to say that this guy can still break through. He can still give you problems, despite him being 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, Slater gets him on an inside pitch. Hogan Windish checks with Eric Carmona to say that was a strike, just a little inside. On an 0-1, Windish gets hit. Might have gotten 2 birds with 1 stone as it went off the face mask of Cromwick. It's the second hit batsman for the Falmouth pitching staff. And that's going to bring up Alan Roden, who came in for Kellum Clark. Kellum Clark, as we mentioned, was hit by a pitch back in the 6th inning.
And you got to be careful here. Roden was a guy that hardly struck out this season. You know, we talk a lot about Slater being the guy who has struck out a lot of guys, a lot of hitters this season. But Roden did that just 9 times with the Blue Jays this year and starting in almost every single one of their games.
He looks at ball 1. 2 runners on with 2 outs for Slater. Slater has given up the lone home run to the Gatemen against Falmouth. It was off of his Florida teammate Ty Evans at Spillane Field. 1-0, misses upstairs, 2-0. got to wait a little bit to see where that pitch is going to land. But Alan Roden from Creighton had a very fine freshman season in 2021 where he hit 378. 2-0. Catches some strike zone, 2-1.
And thanks to Josiah Cromwick. That was a frame job and a half right there.
Juaron Watts Brown pitched a gem. He went 5 strong. Bullpen trying to keep him in line for the victory. The 2-1. Jammed foul. 2-2 now. That thing went deep up there in that berm.
Yeah, I hope no one got hit over there. That bounced off of something.
Well, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. 2 strikes on Roden. The 2-2. In the air to shallow left field. Collins makes the catch. 2 runners stranded as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Walsh, Cromwick, and Brutcher due up for the Dores.
And can you draw your college logo? Nice.
There we go.
I can
That's
see
actually
it.
good. That's
I can
actually
see
really
it.
good.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
I love how flames go.
But I can try to give you a frog. Looks more like a pig than a frog. That's no frog. That's
wrong.
bad. That's
Oh
more
my
like
God.
that's bad.
I know it's got like a weird.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. I can't draw the basic one. You know. Okay. Do not judge me, please. Very stress. Okay. Ready?
Yep. Yeah.
We gotta erase puddles right there.
There's puddles.
That looks like a turkey.
That's actually really good. That's really good.
Well, the Falmouth Commodores lead 4-2 as take a look at our Falmouth Commodore dugout. Correction, Josiah Cromwick, Drew Brutcher, and Corey Collins due up here in this bottom of the 8th inning.
You're looking at the dugout?
I am looking at the dugout.
I'm looking at Carson Depp
there we
going
go.
in on that hot dog.
That's a hot dog.
Cheeseburger. I don't know what that is, but it's a hot dog. As
There we
Sean
go.
Aldred, our director, confirms with us. But this is a usual what you see on your screen.
Always
when
around
I'm
the
on,
eighth
when I'm on
inning.
the, when I'm
Always
on
around
the
the eighth
field
inning.
in the 8th inning, whoever's in the back goes on a food run for the camera people. And Carson always is the one that has himself going. See, sometimes you need some food to get some energy. And it's a good song, too, to dance to. And Carson Depp's doing just that right now. I got to say, I'm a big Carson Depp fan.
All of our talented crew behind the scenes that does such fantastic work. Cameron Weston's day is done. 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run allowed. It was the solo shot. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, no hit batsman as he yields way to Nicholas Mesa. So now here is Josiah Cromwick. Josiah Cromwick for the 4th time today will step into the batter's box. Mesa from Southern Mississippi is in there for strike 1. Well, nobody warming up in that Falmouth bullpen, so you wonder if Ryan Slater would be asked to have a 6-out save.
I think that's what they're going to do.
0-1 is in there for strike 2, nothing in 2.
And I think, Logan, it came down to how Slater was going to get through that 8th inning. He stranded 2, kept a goose egg on the scoreboard, feed him another. Why not?
3 pitches, 3 strikes. And it's a strikeout as Drew Brutcher will come up with 1 out. So the Falmouth Commodores will look to keep Brutcher hot, who is yet to be retired today. A pair of singles and a walk. I mentioned he has scored a run off of his bat in 4 straight contests. As he will look at strike 1. 4 pitches and 4 strikes from Nick Meza, who has a 1-1 record, 3.37 ERA, 5 1/3 of work coming into today, 6 appearances, 5 strikeouts. He's walked 1 and he's given up 6 hits, and he's quickly ahead on Brutcher, 0-2. Wareham will have Blake Wright, Carter Graham, and Jack Hausinger due up in the top of the 9th inning. 0-2. And that misses just a little low. And there goes the immaculate inning watch right there.
Oh, yeah. You're always on that. I got to give you some credit, man.
1-2. Misses upstairs, 2-2.
Like, last time we were at Fenway Park, it was the Red Sox and the Rays on July 5th. And I forgot who was pitching. I need to remember who was pitching.
It was Thompson of the Rays.
Yeah, Thompson of the Rays. And you text me, immaculate inning watch. And I don't realize until, like, 5 minutes after I see the text, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
there's an immaculate inning going on potentially.
Well, Brutcher has the opposite trend as it's 3-2 now. Should he have struck Brutcher out? I wouldn't want to say it on the air and jinx it, but probably would have said that. Full count on Brutcher, 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout this inning for Meza. And there are 2 gone as Corey Collins comes up to bat.
We saw some late game stuff from Corey Collins at this point last night. He got himself a double and a pinch hitting opportunity. Let's find out what he does here. Collins, you know, may be a defensive replacement going into the top of the 9th, trying to get more speed and maybe a better glove in Luke Boyers. Let's see what he does here in this AB.
Well, we talked about Ryan Slater, perhaps the 6-out save. Levi Wells makes his way back over to that Falmouth bullpen. But Corey Collins, 0 for 1 on the day. But he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Pair of walks. They came on back-to-back innings, the 2nd and 3rd to be exact. But then grounded into a 4-6-3 double play back in the 6th inning. On a 2-0 pitch, Collins takes a hack as he foul tips it into the catcher's mitt of Burks, 2-1. Nicholas waits on deck. The Dores with 4 runs on 8 hits. 2-1. That misses low, and Corey Collins is 1 pitch away from drawing his 3rd walk today. Wells throwing more and more pitches down in that Falmouth bullpen. Keep your eye on that. The 3-1 is spoiled foul. Another full count.
Spent death taxes tonight. What is that? I think that's the 11th. That's the 11th full count that we have had tonight. And we're still moving at a good pace.
Exactly. You better knock on wood right now. Payoff pitch. He walked him.
I hope people heard that.
Corey Collins draws the 3rd walk for himself in the batter's box. And I say that because when I was doing field reporter duties the other day, I said to Juaron Watts Brown towards that bullpen area, I said, man, this game is flying. And he turns around. Him, Josh Stewart, Garrett Coe, and Levi Wells all turn around and say, who said that? And I said, it was me. And then I realized something, that you don't ever say that on the baseball field.
Nope.
Luckily, the game went around 2 hours and 35 minutes. So it was
What
a short
game was
one.
that?
That was the Sunday game, the last contest against the Wareham Gatemen.
Oh, yeah, July 10th. That was my first TV play-by-play game.
There you go. First pitch to Nicholas is cut on and missed, strike 1. That was where we saw 1 extra base hit, and that was off of the bat of Hogan Windish. Jackson Nicholas today, 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts, grounded into a 3-6-1 double play back in the 2nd. On an 0-1 pitch, Nicholas swings and misses at that one, 0-2. Nick Meza could strike out 3 batters here. Mooney on deck, should it get to him. Levi Wells hanging around in that Falmouth bullpen. Meza just checks on the pinch runner, Luke Boyers. We talked about Boyers coming off the bench Most likely he will go to left in the 9th inning. 0-2. Spoiled foul. We'll do it again.
Yeah, I'm staring at that right side bullpen right now. I think Wells is going to come in. We talked about how he's creeping up on his innings limit a little bit.
However, the way he's throwing down there, it's not 100%. Just throwing
True.
Like 40%.
Yeah, it could be warming up for tomorrow, too. We don't know until we find out, right?
Meza checks on Boyers. Boyers came in as a pinch runner last night for Corey Collins.
Does it again.
He was stranded 90 feet away in a 1-run game where it was a 4-3 victory. On an 0-2 pitch, Nicholas looks at ball 1 just a little low. 1-2. We've seen that a lot today. That low part of the strike zone get taken for a ball, and that's usually what it's been called. Second baseman Hausinger expecting Nicholas to pull. 1-2. 2-2 now. Falmouth Commodores stranded 10 last night. They've only stranded 7. They're at risk of stranding 8. Two. That misses low and outside, and the count is run full. And Luke Boyers will get a head start over there at first base.
12 now.
That's 12th one.
12th
full count. See what Nicholas can do. Searching for his first hit since last Saturday. On a payoff pitch, Nicholas grounds this one right side. Hausinger over to first. That's that. We go to the 9th inning. Wareham Gatemen down to their last 3 outs to get 2 runs or more.
Hey there, Commodore fans. Thanks for joining us and cheering on your Falmouth Commodores. Want to take a break from the action? Come make a visit to the merchandise booth. Check us out behind home plate. We have a bunch of new designs for you to purchase, from hats to shirts, jerseys, crew necks, wine glasses, and even baby bibs. You think of it, we probably have it. From youth sizes to even adult double XLs. We have everything you need for family and friends. Be sure to come say hello and get a piece of Falmouth merch. Make a trip before we close up shop in the 9th inning. See you soon, and roll Dores.
Back here at Guv Fuller Field, take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Falmouth Commodores. Saw a lot of home games this week, a lot of road games coming up. Cotuit, Orleans, Bourne, Wareham, and Hyannis, those 2 happening after the All-Star break. We're at Hyannis, or I beg your pardon, we're hosting Hyannis on the 21st. Big one tomorrow, because if the Dores beat the Cats, they could clinch the season series against the division rivals, and they've won just 2 of their last 10.
Is that bad? It's not good.
That's not good.
It's not good. It's the words of Stan Verrett and Neil Everett, Sports Center anchors. All right, here we go, partner. Need this one.
We're going to have a pinch, or I beg your pardon, Blake Wright will lead things off for the Wareham Gatemen. 0 for 3 on the day. Ryan Slater on to attempt to complete a 6-out save. Luke Boyers now in left field. Levi Wells warming up in that bullpen just in case. First pitch. That misses outside, 1-0. Dores stranding 8 base runners as the 1-0 is sent up the middle. Mooney can't get it. It's off of his glove, and that's going to be, see how they rule that. That should be a single off of Blake Wright. And that brings up the tying run. And this time we are going to see a pinch hitter.
And it's just like what we saw last time. Owen Diodati coming in to pinch hit in the 9th inning, trying to set up his team for something special. But that's going to be it for Slater. It's Levi time, partner.
Well, they're going to go to Levi Wells. Owen Diodati's been an absolute stud Mr. Reliable, but Slater leaves this 9th inning as Levi Wells will come on. We'll step aside.
What are you most looking forward to this season?
I'm just looking forward to, I mean, it's obvious, but just the games, seeing some great baseball, some great talent, and working with all these interns and really just learning.
I'm just excited to get to know everyone, do some fun social media stuff, make a lot of TikToks, and watch some baseball.
I'm looking forward to spending time with all of the other great interns, looking forward to watching good baseball, spending time around the field, and being in Falmouth again.
It was just such a great experience last year. I mean, there's nothing better. I mean, it's the best players in the country, and the opportunity to cover them is awesome.
Welcome you inside the Falmouth Commodores broadcast booth, along with Trey, Redfield, Logan, Soforenko with you. And Trey, another nail biter here at Guv Fuller Field. It seems very appropriate with the way that these standings have gone. The Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen both tied realistically for 4th and 5th place right now, respectively, with 26 points. The winner, sole possession heading into Sunday's day tomorrow, but Levi Wells on to pitch.
It's the most important inning of the season, and Levi Wells coming in at a big time yet again. Last time we saw him was against Hyannis for a 5-out save, and we thought that game was extremely important too. You needed to steal a win. Levi Wells came in and got it done. It's really important for him to find the strike zone early and do the same thing again. What's a little bit different this time around somewhat is that he has a base runner on. He's got to worry about that first. If Wells can handle that, knowing he also struggled last time he faced the Gatemen, he gave up that 2-run double to Hogan Windish. He finds a way to show more command going up against a different part of the order, then he should be just fine. It's the bottom of the order coming up for the Dores, but last time we saw Owen Diodati got on base.
Well, that Peyton Stovall solo home run providing a little bit more comfort here in this top of the 9th inning, but Diodati, such a very fine hitter. And he will look at ball 1 inside. Owen Diodati hit .242 in the 2022 season. It's from Niagara Falls, Ontario.
It's just on the other side
of the good old Falls. The 1-up. 1-1 as he fouls that one back. Well, he's making the move to Oregon, but he just wrapped up his season with Alabama. Had some great numbers. Selected to the SEC 2022 service team. He was an outfielder and a designated hitter. Time has been granted by home plate umpire Eric Carmona.
So with him being an outfielder, you know who he spent time with out there? Probably splitting time with center and right?
Andrew Pinckney.
Andrew Pinckney.
1-2 now as he swings right through that pitch. Boy, Levi Wells had some single on that pitch right there. But Diodati hit .242 with the Crimson Tide. 49 games played, 41 starts, 8 home runs, 26 driven in, 25 walks, hit by a pitch 4 times, and struck out 43 times. On a 1-2 pitch, Diodati belts this one deep to right field. Brutcher back at the wall, and this game is tied. Owen Diodati off of the bench makes it 4-4 in the top of the 9th inning.
Oh, man. These Wareham Gatemen, they never fail to amaze us.
This Western Division
never fails to amaze us either.
There's still nobody out for the Gatemen. Oh, man. Comes in for Carter Graham. Gets a 2-run shot, and this is a brand new ball game. Foul tipped off of Cromwick. Going back to that point about that Peyton Stovall home run. Really important now.
Oh, extremely important. I mean, everything's still on the table. You know, you could come back in the 9th, pull off a walk-off win, but first thing you got to do is make sure Wareham comes out with nothing here, because you got Hausinger up right now, who I will say is an extremely tough out. Devin Burks after that. And then you bring up the top of the order and Chase Davis, who's one of, if not the best player on this team.
0-1 gets away from Cromwick, 1-1. Well, you mentioned Hausinger being a tough out. The Dores have done a pretty nice job with him today. 0 for 3, a fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. One of those runs on the home run goes to Ryan Slater, and one of them goes to Levi Wells. What a pitch from Wells, 1-2 now.
Yeah, if you're Levi, you got to forget what just happened. You got to have a short memory and attack. That's something he does really well. After he gives up a big hit, he locks in after that. Let's find out if that stays true here.
1-2. Did he go around? Yes, he did, according to home plate umpire Eric Carmona. Strikeout from Wells, and there's one gone. Now here is Devin Burks. Bottom parts of the lineup not really producing, but of course I say that, and Diodati comes in off the bench representing the 7th spot in the lineup and ties the game. Burks looks at ball 1 inside. Burks grounded out back in the 3rd, walked in the 6th, scored on one of those errors, then grounded out in the 7th. 2-0 now. Levi Wells living inside here.
A little bit. He's in the kitchen. That's how inside he's going.
Well, Levi Wells, despite giving up the home run, strikes out the next batter he sees, and that's an encouraging sign if you're the Dores right here. But he's behind in the count, 2-0, as Burks looks at strike 1. Falmouth will have the top of their lineup due in the bottom of the 9th inning. Alex Mooney, Colby Halter, and Peyton Stovall. On a 2-1 pitch, Burks looks at a breaking ball that misses low, 3-1.
As much as Falmouth likes to turn double plays, you do not want to give up a base runner. Levi Wells has got to control his game here.
3-1 is sent into left field, and that drops for a base hit in front of Luke Boyers. 1 on with 1 out, and the top of the lineup in Chase Davis in the plate. And we're going to have a pinch runner for the Gatemen. It's going to be Derek Fabian. Well, 3 hits for the Gatemen. And such a gem by Juaron Watts Brown. He will once again not have a decision, but it is summer ball. You got to be impressed with what you saw from Watts Brown. So right now the baseball fan and everyone right here wants to see an exciting finish, and they're going to get just that.
They are, certainly. There's going to be a lot of defensive changes as well going into the bottom half, with Fabian coming in the pinch run, Diodati pinch hitting for Carter Graham, and now you bring up the top of the order. Harvey Shapiro is probably grinning over there on the third base side, serving as the third base coach all season.
First pitch to Davis. Misses low, 1-0. Chase Davis today, 1 for 4, a couple of flyouts. 1 for 3, I should say. Walk back in the first. That was that 4-pitch walk from Juaron Watts Brown. It was the only walk from the righty. Swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. But Davis, who came into today hitting .320, 8 for 25, 1 run driven in. He's walked twice and has struck out 7 times. If you're Davis right here, you're not trying to do anything too big. Just keep the train rolling for the Gatemen. On a 1-1 pitch, Davis looks at a breaking ball that misses just a little outside, 2-1. Falmouth has not had a walk-off this season. We know Bourne's had a couple. 2-1 the count on Davis. 3-1 now. And this is what happens when you have back-to-back games coming into today where you have closers pitch 5-out saves. Wells, as you mentioned, had the 5-out save against Hyannis. But the Dores want him to get out of this inning now. Take the save off the table, because if the Dores come back in the 9th, you get the win. On a 3-1 pitch, Davis spoils this pitch foul and out of play. And how many full counts is that now, Trey?
13.
That is 13. Falmouth with a 2-game winning streak. And Wareham with a 3-game losing streak. So something's got to give. Falmouth 4-11-1 at home. Wareham 7-7-1 on the road. On a payoff pitch, Davis looks at ball 4, and they're at first and second with 1 out. The pinch runner, Derek Fabian, took off. And that's going to bring up Max Anderson.
Yeah, Wells needs to give himself as much time as he needs right now. That bullpen's empty, and Mike Landry's honoring that time with Wells. He's going to use a mound visit here. Try and get situational. There's only 1 out, and you're facing the heart of an order that is really, really good.
Well,
and they've kept them in check, too.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like I said with Windish, you never know when he's going to erupt. You never know when Max Anderson is going to erupt. I mean, you saw that, honestly, at Fenway Day, too. Windish had a bad first round of BP. And then on the last pitch of his first session, he sent one over the green monster.
That's right.
On the Lansdowne Street. Like, you never know what's going to happen. And you got to really take control of your game here. Infield's got to let Levi know, like, hey, we got you. Ground ball, spin and play. We're turning this double play for you.
Already seen 1 turn tonight. And I talked about the walks. Juaron Watts Brown didn't really have too many, but we've now seen 5 walks from the Falmouth pitching and 2 hit batsmen.
Yeah, that's not pretty.
So now here's Max Anderson, the third baseman, with 2 runners on, and he will look at strike 1. Sometimes a mound visit is all it takes. Max Anderson spent his spring with Nebraska Lincoln, played in the Big Ten. Oh, 1. That one skips away from Cromwick, and both runners advance. 1-1 the count. And anything in the outfield could deliver the Wareham Gatemen the lead. Well, Max Anderson, as I mentioned just a couple of weeks ago, was one of 3 Wareham Gatemen to receive Freshman of the Year in the Big Ten. The other 2 are Major League ball players. Infield in for the Dores. 1-1 is popped up. Shallow right, but it's in the infield as Nicholas makes the catch. 2 gone. Big out there from Wells.
Best case scenario. Now what the infield can do is move back to its normal spot. Try and find the put out with Campos coming up to the plate. This is the most important at-bat of the game right here, the most important at-bat of the season for the Dores. Levi Wells has to win this battle. There is no other way around it, because if you walk Campos, the bases are juiced with Hogan Windish.
Well, you talked about the stakes. Here's the game. Talk about the stakes in the pregame, and leading up to it, it's lived up to the hype. Wells from the windup now. He delivers ball 1 inside to the designated hitter, Ryan Campos. 1 for 2 on the day, a strikeout, a single, and a pair of walks. Walked back in the 6th and walked back in the 8th. Nicholas very deep in the second base position. On a 1-0 pitch, Campos looks at ball 2 outside, 2-0. Levi Wells, doesn't matter how he wants the out. For Wareham, doesn't matter how they score. It's one of those points in the game where you take it any way you can. 2-0. Ball outside, 3-0. And you talked about the importance of not bringing up Hogan Windish with the bases loaded. Levi Wells 1 pitch away from that being a reality. The 3-0. That's in there for strike one.
All right, you found strike one. Now you got to find a way to attack. Pretend like you're still ahead. You know, try and get after the guy. It's still a hitter's count, so Campos is going to be looking for anything, even something outside the zone if he likes it.
On a 3-1 pitch, Campos looks at strike two, and the count is full.
14 now, Logan.
There we go. So you talked about the biggest at-bat for the Falmouth pitching staff this season. You now have the biggest pitch right here against Ryan Campos, the DH from Arizona State. Runners at second and third. Davis at second, Fabian at third. The payoff pitch. Foul tipped, and Cromwell couldn't catch it. As that could have been strike three, but another pitch Ryan Campos will see.
If that glove's in the steamer that they have at Dick's Sporting Goods for another 30 seconds, that ball is caught. Oh, my goodness.
So the lengthy at bat continues. 6 pitches now. On a 3-2 pitch, Campos grounds one right side. Nicholas gathers and fires over to first. The game is tied, but we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Dores looking to walk it off.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song. Proud to be an American. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
And what's your favorite breakfast food?
Oh, my favorite breakfast. On the West Coast, I don't know if it's a thing back east, but Spam.
Wheels or doors?
I think wheels, honestly, because you use wheels like more than I feel like you would use doors, because if you're moving things around, more than likely it's on a wheel.
Well, the Falmouth Commodores have the top of the lineup due here in the bottom of the 9th inning in Alex Mooney, Colby Halter, and Peyton Stovall. So thankful for Wareham broadcaster Cade Crenshaw for keeping us up to date with all the defensive changes. New catcher for the Wareham Gatemen is Peter Burns from Boston College. And then Owen Diodati stays in the game in right field. Then Alan Roden moves from right field to first base.
So a lot of changes, like we said. There was a pinch hitter, a pinch runner in there. Also, the defensive replacement. Burks got his single that was after the 9th, where he thought it was going to be a go-ahead lead for the Gatemen, but not the case. A lot of different changes. Strap in, ladies and gents. Let's go.
Alex Mooney leading things off here in the bottom of the 9th. The Dores looking to walk off for the first time this season, and Alex Mooney has been swinging a fine bat tonight. 2 for 4. Pair of singles. That pitch misses upstairs. 1-0. Not trying to be the hero here.
Just be smart.
Be smart and
get on base. Trace takes.
Do your role. 1-0 is spoiled foul. 1-1.
Because this is what it is at the start of every game. You're at the top of the order, right? Leadoff guy's job is to get on base somehow in some way. Next guy up, Colby Halter, move him somehow in some way, whether that's a bunt or a base hit. It's all rolls here, so you can set up Peyton Stovall, who's in the hole, and he has himself a solo home run. The 1, 2, 3 in this order, Logan, needs to get it done right here and right now.
1-1 is popped up towards the Falmouth dugout, and it is way out of play. 1-2 now. First baseman, the new one, I should say, Roden, giving some chase. First base coach for the Falmouth Commodores, Ryan Eiley, saying don't even bother, it's going out of play. Of course, he's going to say that. He wants it dropping, but looking for safety, especially here in summer ball. Mooney behind in the count, 1-2. On a 1-2 pitch, Mooney takes ball 2 inside, 2-2. Mooney definitely doesn't want to get hit there as he wants to swing the bat.
Well, there is that point where people say wear it.
2-2. Swing and a miss. He took something off of it. And Mooney goes down swinging. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So now here's Colby Halter. A righty on lefty matchup that goes in favor of the batter. But Halter is 0 for 4 on the day. Looking to get hot right here. 5 home runs coming into today, 12 runs driven in. Hitting .322. Nothing in 1 quickly. First strikeout came in the 1st inning. Second came in the 3rd. Fly out in the 4th. Then back in the 7th, he was retired. 0-1. Nothing in 2 quickly on Halter as it goes into the Falmouth dugout.
Yeah, look out, Jeff.
Manager Jeff trying to get out of the way on that one. I think he's been there for a while.
That's his spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's his spot. He is like I think he has like some sort of like step-up stool too, but something like that.
0-2 misses low. Well, Colby Halter, I talked about how much he's punished Wareham. But a very, very great hitter. .364. He's walked 3 times. 4 for 11 coming into today. In the air to deep left center field. Davis makes the catch. So it's going to be up to Peyton Stovall to make sure this game doesn't end in a tie. And in one of the most anticipated matchups for the Western Division, when you look on the slate of games today, no ground could be gained for either side.
Yeah, and then it makes tomorrow so much more important against a team that's at the top of the Western Division. Falmouth is if it turns out to be a tie tonight, Falmouth will have to do some game stealing again.
Stovall looks at ball 1 as it skips away from the catcher Burns.
And if Stovall gets on base here, I'm expecting Chestnut to come in and pinch run. He's on the steps right now. He's ready for it.
Stovall already has a solo home run tonight. It's a big gap out there in right center. 2-0 now. Oh, Andrew Pinckney waits on deck. Should Stovall reach, this could be a great manager decision to have Pinckney in the cleanup spot. On a 2-0 pitch, Stovall chops this one foul, 2-1. And Nick Meza entered this game in the 8th inning. Already has 3 strikeouts. He's been dealing. That 8th inning, he saw 4 batters. 2-1. Fouled right behind home plate, 2-2. So the Dores are down to their last strike. Last thing anybody in this ballpark wants is a tie. But Wareham 1 pitch away from doing just that. Both teams would get a point, but they would still be tied. On a 2-2 pitch, Stovall looks at ball 3, and the count's run full.
15.
I looked right at you. I had to see how many it was.
I saw you in the corner of my eye.
Oh, yeah. Stovall with a full count. 2 for 3 on the day. Payoff. Golfs this one to the right side. Into right field for a base hit. And this game will go to Andrew Pinckney with 2 outs. And we'll see if they leave Stovall in to run.
Nope.
Travis Chestnut coming out without a helmet. We'll see if he takes it from Stovall, and indeed he will. So we'll see what Chestnut can do. He's got some speed on those bases. You wonder if anything in those gaps gets down. They just try and send him. 2 outs. You got a tie on the line.
Pull a Dave Roberts in 04. Why not? Send him.
So now here's Pinckney, who has 2 runs driven in today. He looks at ball 1 upstairs and inside. 1-0. Pinckney had a fly out back in the 1st, 2-run double in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. reached on an E5 back in the 7th, committed by Anderson. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball right back to the pitcher, Meza, and the ball game is over. The Wareham Gatemen and the Falmouth Commodores tie at 4. Both teams will get a point, but they each now have 27 points in the Western Division as the Dores will travel to Lowell Park to take on the Katuitt Kettleers.
Oh, gosh, I hate ties, but I was telling you this before the game. I wish this team, the Commodores, had more ties, because if they did indeed have more ties, they could be hanging around right now with Bourne. There have been a lot of close games this season, and rarely one of these, or they have come in ties. That's the 3rd tie this season, Logan. Now tied for the lowest with Orleans, pending its result tonight. But tomorrow is just ever more so important, and it's ever so much tougher against a Katuitt team that's still finding ways to stay somewhat successful and be atop of the Western Division. But overall, great game. Great game.
Well, the Katuitt Kettleers have been a fantastic host at Lowell Park. It should be a fun one tomorrow. You can tune in on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel for the radio broadcast. And as you see on your screen, all of our amazing crew, our supervisors, our web reporter, Tommy Mumma, who you got to hear from today, Meg Murphy, our photographer, Charlotte Mocht, our social media coordinator, our public address announcer, Dan Fox, Liv Charbonneau, our video graphics technician, all of our videographers, Brendan Capozzi, Carson Depp, and Ellie Fideli, and our director, Sean Oldred, who keeps this train rolling. And on behalf of our broadcast team, Carter Bainbridge, our field reporter, Trey Redfield upstairs, I'm Logan Soforenko, signing off for now. We will see you tomorrow at Lowell Park. Have a great night.